Now on YouTube, it's time for some alternative commentary action with the Commentary Hub.
There's headed by Marina, and it's 2-1 to Arsenal.
Look at that point! Goal for Manchester City!
Takes this corner, whips it in, it's headed and it's a goal, and it's that man, Gabriel.
Liverpool have equalised. Lovely improvisational touch from Curtis Jones.
Oh, what a goal! Wow, take it out! Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending where you are across the world, and welcome along to the Commentary Hub's coverage of a big game in European football, the Champions League final on UCL here on TCM Live. It's Paris Saint-Germain taking on Arsenal, also looking to do a double this season, and this week making double Premier League and European double after missing out on the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup earlier on in the season. Ahead of this game, we did receive some news from Liverpool this afternoon, which saw manager Arne Slot be announced that he will be leaving the club, with the full runner for the managerial job at Anfield his former Bournemouth boss, and that man is Andoni Iraola. And I've got a man alongside us who's going to be looking into the Champions League final, which we'll preview in just a second, who's also going to touch upon the news and his reaction to Arne Slot leaving Liverpool and potential appointment of Andoni Iraola in the Anfield hot seat. And that man is Mike Harneman. And Mike, very good evening to you, my friend. First and foremost, your thoughts on Slot leaving Liverpool and the potential arrival of Andoni Iraola, who's just left Bournemouth at the end of this season, Mike.
Yeah, evening Russ, evening everyone. Hopefully we're all doing really, really well this Saturday evening as well. And big news coming out of Liverpool, as you mentioned there, regarding the departure first of Arne Slot, and then of course the potential of Iraola coming in. But what I will touch on first of all is the departure of Arne Slot. I think he's been a real great servant for Liverpool. I think he's coming for Jurgen Klopp, had a really good season, lifted the title with them. And he's going to code on that Jurgen Klopp here nicely, to be honest, for the red side of Merseyside. So, yes, this season they've really, really struggled. And that's, partly down to the passing of Diego Jota. Of course, that's going to have an impact on the squad. And of course, there's going to be other factors as well regarding, the improvement of other teams, the likes of Arsenal, Man City, Man United have improved as well. So obviously Liverpool have faded a bit there. I never saw them finishing as low down as they did. I thought they'd be a lot more competitive, but you have to credit Arne Slot for the work he did, in particular when he came in to take over from Jurgen Klopp first time around and carry over the kind of consistency really into that season, win the league. And I think this time, to give him this season and see they've really struggled, I think it's the right call. And I think Iraola's a great boss as well. Obviously, he's got Bournemouth into Europe for the first time ever. So a real good appointment there. He's young. He's got a lot of drive. And I think he'll do quite good.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. I think if he does turn out to be Iraola, that could be a small move. Bournemouth unbeaten towards the back end of the season. I think he was about 17 games unbeaten with Iraola at the helm. So I think that could be what Liverpool needed, fresh voice in there. Just a penny for the thoughts of Xabi Alonso. He's always said the new Chelsea boss. He always said his dream was to become the Liverpool manager. Had he hung out an extra couple of weeks, he'd have probably got that job at Anfield. What do you think he's feeling right now, Mike, just before we get on to tonight's important game?
I think it'd be quite bittersweet for him, really. I feel that obviously, he mentioned that he wanted Liverpool. But you don't know that Liverpool job's going to come. Chelsea's come available. They're a big club in London, not the biggest, by the way. Nowhere near the biggest. The biggest club playing tonight. But not taking away from Chelsea. Chelsea are a great football side. They're a great club. They're run very well now after Abramovich has left as well. They've got themselves out of their financial issues, and they've got some young players coming through as well. And I think that when somewhere becomes available, you have to take that opportunity, because he never knew this Liverpool job has become available as quickly as it has, right? This could have become available in the summer, could have become available next season. We never know. So when there's a big club like Chelsea are a big club, you've got to take it.
Absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. Let's turn our attention now to the game in question tonight. Kicking off in around about 7 or so minutes' time at the Puskas Arena in Budapest is Paris Saint-Germain against Arsenal in the Champions League. And before we bring Mike in to give his thoughts on the lineups and the ahead of tonight's game, let's just take a look at the two lineups. Starting with Paris Saint-Germain, who will line up as followed for their game tonight against Arsenal. Starting off is in goal Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pachau and Nuno Mendes across the back. Yao Neves, Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz in midfield, with Doué, Dembele and Kvaratskhelia leading the line for Paris Saint-Germain. On the bench for them, some world-class players in there. Cavalier, Marin, the two goalkeepers, Ronaldo, Zabrane, Ramos, Lee, Hernandez, Maeu, Bruno Fernandes, Barcola, Zaire Emery and Mbaye on the bench, managed by Luis Enrique. And now let's take a look at the champions of England and how Mikel Arteta will line up his side to take on Paris Saint-Germain. We'll recap these sides again a little bit later on, just before we get to kick-off as well. But the Arsenal lineup in full is David Raya in goal, a back four from right to left of Christian Mosquera, William Saliba, Gabriel and Pedro and Piero Incapié, let's say. In midfield of Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice and Miles Lewis-Skelly, with Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard either side of Kai Havertz. The bench, Kepa, the backup goalkeeper, Jesus, Eze, Martinelli, Timber, Gyökeres, Norgard, Madueke, Moreno, Calafiore, Zubimendi and Max Dowman on the bench for Arsenal as well. We'll bring you the teams again in a few moments' time, just before we get the kick-off. But Mike, you've just heard the teams there. What is your opinion on the both lineups, and where do you see this game being won and lost in this Champions League final today?
Yeah, so I'll take it from the Arsenal point of view. First of all, when you see the Arsenal lineup, and the boys are coming out now as well, just shaking hands with the officials as they're making their way out to the pitch for the first time. Getting ready for probably the Champions League anthem and everything like that shortly. But when you look at the Arsenal lineup, I think there's a few surprises in there. I think Mosquera at right back, he's shown he can do a job, but not against somebody of the quality of Doué and Kvaratskhelia. So that's going to be a bit of a concern. And I think, you might have Declan Rice trying to help him out a bit and stuff as well. Obviously, Declan Rice has played right back a couple of times this season. So Declan Rice is going to probably have to use his experience to help Christian out a little bit there. I see that the left-hand side with Piero Hincapié as well is preferred to Riccardo Calafiori. And I'd have probably gone with Richie for this one. I think with the experience of him winning the World Cup, although Hincapié has been sensational as well, and I think that's pretty much certain to be made a permanent as well in the summer. And the other one is Lewis-Skelly in midfield, and I feel that's kind of helped the defence a little bit and kind of a little bit more balance to the back line. Obviously, we're going to have Gabriel and Saliba, who are extremely solid, but I think that if we put what I think we'll do is we'll put Lewis-Skelly sit in. We'll have Declan Rice in a lot more of a free role, which is where he's at his best. We'll have Martin Odegaard in the 8, or the 10, or whatever you want to refer to it as. And then we'll have Bukayo Saka and Leandro Trossard, and then obviously Kai Havertz is the other one I've not touched on yet, leading the line. I think that he's gone up there rather than Victor Gyökeres because of the aerial presence he can offer. So overall, interesting lineup from an Arsenal point of view. I quite like it. Maybe Timber at right back would have been what I'd have gone down the route of, but might be a bit soon for him, but he is on the bench. And then, when you look at PSG, we've seen that they're vulnerable defensively. The goalkeeper's vulnerable. The back four of Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho and Mendes are vulnerable as well. And then obviously the battles are going to be midfield with Ruiz and Odegaard, Coutinho and Rice, Neves and Lewis-Skelly. And then the front lines as well, obviously Doué and Saka, Kvaratskhelia and Trossard and Dembele and Havertz as well. So, yeah, really interesting lineups and really looking forward to the game. I feel that we've got a good chance. If we'd have lost the league to Manchester City, I'd be a lot more worried than this about this game than I actually am. The league was what we wanted to go for, and yeah, this is kind of just a little bit of a bonus on top. So yeah, we've seen already that they're not the very best defensively, and we've shown the quality that we've got defensively. So if you look at the bench as well, if you look at our bench in particular, we've got a lot of quality there. We've got Calafiori, Dalman, Eze, Gyökeres, Madueke, Martinelli, Marino, Timber, Mendy, Norgard, Jesus. They're all big players, so they can all come on and have an impact if need be as well. So, yep, looking forward to the game, and pretty comfortable and happy really with the lineup, bar a couple of potential alterations. But yeah, we'll see how it pans out. But for me, not massively concerned. Slightly concerned in certain areas, but I can see why Arteta's done it.
Yes, mate. Just one final one for me before we get into the four-match contrast. The teams are out onto the pitch right now. Just give us your score prediction for this game today.
So I've got two score predictions, really. I've got the head prediction and I've got the heart prediction. And the head prediction, it sees it being a tough game. It sees PSG causing us problems on the attacking front, on the front foot. But I do think we'll handle them with pretty much not really that many issues with the quality that we've got. So the head prediction, I'm going 1-0 Arsenal. And the heart prediction, I'm going 2-1 Arsenal. So Arsenal win either way, but I think it's going to be a tight game. I think it'll be, extremely close.
Thank you very much there to Mike on. We're back with Mike at half-time of the game. Let's take a look then once again at the starting lineups for today's game, starting with Paris Saint-Germain, who line up with 7 off in goal. It's a back four then of Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho, Nuno Mendes, midfield trio of Fabio Ruiz, Vitinha and João Neves, the Desiree Doué, Ousmane Dembele and Kvaratskhelia Kvaratskhelia leading the line for Paris Saint-Germain today. Before we bring you the Arsenal team, let's take a look at the match officials today. The referee is from Germany, Daniel Siebert is the match referee. He's assisted by Jan Sedel and Raphael Boltan from Germany as well, with Sandro Scharter from Switzerland, Bastian Dankert, Robert Schroeder, both from Germany, and Carlos del Cerro Grande from Spain in the VAR room today as well. Let's take a look then at the Arsenal starting lineup before we give you the two benches again. And here's our Arsenal lineup for this game against Paris Saint-Germain. It's David Raya in goal, Christian Mosquera, William Saliba, Gabriel Piero and Capier, Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice and Miles Lewis-Skelly in the midfield, with Bukayo Saka, Kai Havertz and Leandro Trossard leading the line for Arsenal today. Really big game this, in what's going to be a big match for both teams in the Champions League final in Budapest.
Well, I want to add just briefly before the game gets underway as well. Obviously, don't count out the fact that we've got Kai Havertz in there, who's won this with Chelsea, scored the winning goal. I think he's going to be a big player. Obviously, Odegaard as well. I think Odegaard could potentially be back to his best today alongside Rice and Saka. So, from an Arsenal point of view, let's hope these guys, can kind of do their thing, do what we know they can do. They've done it all through the season in the league and everything like that. So, yeah, let's see what we can do. And Arsenal fans, be positive, back the boys, and come on, you Gunners!
Big up there to Mike Kahneman with his passionate run there just towards the end of our pre-match build-up as we get ready then for what's going to be a big game in the Champions League final. The 2026 final is about to get underway. In pre-match kick-off, the music that we had inside the stadium was from the brilliant band The Killers, which we weren't able to bring you here on the commentary of. I will tell you, it was a brilliant performance from them. Let's get ready to get this game underway. It'll be Arsenal will be kicking us off. Miles Lewis-Skelly is off attack. We'll tell the goal away to mine. Said, and we're underway for the first time in the Champions League final, the 2026 Champions League final. Paris Saint-Germain taking on Arsenal in what is going to be a big game today in this Champions League, as the ball is already on the right hand side for Paris Saint-Germain, with Marquinhos sending it down the field, picked up by Gabriel, down the line to Catherine on the far left-hand side, has also looked to come forward. There's a man gone down early for a free kick being given to Arsenal on the far side. Foul by, I think it was Due there on Nkapia as he tried to bring the ball forward. It's actually on Trossard by Achraf Hakimi, and he just kicked in between the legs and just didn't get anywhere near the football. Did Achraf Hakimi. Mikel Arteta already won the Premier League this season, and when I look into the Arteta reign compared to Arsene Wenger, who's in attendance from the Arsenal match, Arsenal boss Arsene Wenger. When you look at it inside the crowd today for Arsenal, in terms of with Arsene Wenger, and you look at the record compared to the current boss Mikel Arteta, and about winning Premier Leagues. In his first few seasons, before he won the Premier League, Arsene Wenger, he comes second in the previous seasons leading up to actually winning the league, and then went on and had a really good run. And Arteta's done that, and now he's won the league this year, so could also won a really good run now, and winning more Premier League titles than what they have done in previously. Safinov will have an early goal kick here after a free kick was pumped into the penalty by Rice and headed away and behind by Gabriel. And the ball is sent long there by Safinov, straight into the arms of the Arsenal boss, Mikel Arteta, who I guess tells Arsenal to go a little bit quick. Trying to pick out Odegaard was Havertz there as Vitinha drops the ball back there to Achraf Hakimi. Back to Vitinha, who's pulling the pressure from Martin Odegaard. And now it's across there with Nuno Mendes, who can look to bring this ball forward. Can the brilliant left back of Paris Saint-Germain, who can foot in field and try and get away from his man over on that far side, trying to pick it out is Achraf Hakimi, but Vitinha who picks the ball up here for Paris Saint-Germain. Now it's João Neves, who can twist and turn on the ball and play Fabian Ruiz, who can get the ball down the line into the path. Now Ousmane Dembele, who's dropping deep inside his own half early on it to make sure he can keep possession, maintain that possession for Paris Saint-Germain in this early exchanges. Will bring you the thoughts of my comment at half time on this game between Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal. Here's thoughts on the first half performance from the Gunners, as well as the Parisians of the French capital in Paris Saint-Germain, as they have a bit of possession now to Paris Saint-Germain, and Achraf Hakimi gives the ball away, but Vitinha picks the ball back up for Paris Saint-Germain. He just holds up the play, rolls it into the midfield there to Fabian Ruiz, who can send the ball forward. Can he? He can here now. It's now back with Nuno Mendes. He's got Kvaratskhelia down in front of him, where he goes back to Pacheco, and now into Fabian Ruiz again, who drops into that left back position when Nuno Mendes pushes forward. Kvaratskhelia pushes forward as well, and sometimes him and Due and Dembele interchange along with the Georgian Kvaratskhelia there, as it's Nuno Mendes just keeps the ball in play and plays it off of Christian Mosquera and out of play for an early throw in here to Paris Saint-Germain in their left back spot, just a bit further down from the left back spot. So just in line with their, a couple of yards away from their dugout, is on my right hand side from my commentary position, is thrown long downfield, headed away by Saliba, pushing the back of Bukayo Saka from Fabian Ruiz, and also will have a free kick. And talking to from the German referee Daniel Siebert to Fabian Ruiz there from that push in the back, and then he complained, and then I think he headed the ball away and then got the ball back and then cleared it away, so the free kick couldn't be taken fairly quickly from an Arsenal perspective. But also gone with the game now as Luis Skelly plays it to Gabriel, and Gabriel plays it into Declan Rice, lifts it into the air for Kai Havertz. Havertz controls well to that far side, and then Nkapia down the line towards Trossard, and he breaks now for Kai Havertz, who's through, and Kai Havertz is through on goal. Kai Havertz inside the penalty area, throws it into the back of the net, and inside 6 minutes, Arsenal take the lead. Inside 6 minutes, and it has been coming from Arsenal. It's Kai Havertz who has opened the scoring, and the German has got this game off and underway. Kai Havertz with the goal. Arsenal inside 6 minutes lead in the Champions League final. It's a wonderful bit of play for the Gunners. And he's never struck first. And it's Kai Havertz who has opened the scoring, and Arsenal have taken the lead, and it is a deserved lead as well. Really a bit of play. They've not let Paris Saint-Germain play their own game. They've caught them out. And Arsenal, inside 6 minutes, through Kai Havertz, leading up by a goal to nil. They will be checking for a potential handball against Leandro Trossard, but I didn't see anything of that. But Kai Havertz, as it stands right now, has given Arsenal the lead inside 6 minutes here in Budapest. Fantastic start from the Gunners. And the goal is being given, and that is correctly given as well. No handball there. And that's what the German does best when he's in front. He plays to Victor Gyökeres. He finds the back of the net and gives the Gunners a 1-0 lead. And there's a free kick man down here from Arsenal's perspective in Lewis Skelly. And Dembele was down as well. But Dembele now back on his feet. 4 goals in 6 matches in the Champions League for Kai Havertz now. And this is what Arsenal, the star that they would have wanted. And that is a fantastic goal. And the goal, Safinov should never get beaten there at his near post. He fired it into the roof of the net. And you can just see what it means to the Arsenal faithful when that goal in the back of the net from Kai Havertz. That is a fantastic goal and a fantastic start. Just what the doctor ordered. And they've been looking to take not 1 but 2 trophies on their victory parade tomorrow after winning the Premier League earlier this season as well. And Arsenal have a 1-goal lead here. And we're just looking at this again. It was the challenge again on Lewis Skelly. It was a poor challenge, and O'Reilly's given a free kick there. And Mike, I can see in his studio from our position that we've got a camera on Mike, and he's enjoying that goal early on here. And why wouldn't he? Arsenal lead in the Champions League final, but can Paris Saint-Germain change that? He's going to do it. Challenge just down the right hand side. It headed away by Saliba and picked up here by Leandro Trossard. Trossard tries to get away. Achraf Hakimi, who just gets back at him and does well to tidy up here. Achraf Hakimi and find Marquinhos. And if Arsenal win today, I believe it'll be the first time. If someone could check and correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe if Arsenal win today, it might be the first time that 3 English clubs have won all 3 of the European trophies. Because if you look at Aston Villa, they won the Europa League, and Crystal Palace won the Conference League in midweek, and now can the Gunners gun down Paris Saint-Germain and win the Champions League? That's what they're doing so far, gunning them down. 9 minutes on being played, but the goal come after just 6 minutes when Kai Havertz fired home to give Arsenal the lead. As here comes Paris Saint-Germain trying to come forward, but Arsenal have defended that well. And Nuno Mendes picks up possession, but he's been robbed of possession by Kai Havertz, who come back from an offside position inside. Come back from the Paris Saint-Germain offside position, took go touch the ball, and the flag went up there. And for me, that should not have been given, because the ball hadn't gone past the halfway line when he made the challenge. But don't get me started on the offsides and officials, and hopefully we don't have to speak about the 3-letter word VAR. And if our good friend Paul James is listening, he'll be hoping we don't have to speak about the 3-letter word VAR, because I know Paul, our good friend Paul James here at the commentary hub, will be back during the World Cup awesome World Cup action for us. He'll be having a rant on VAR off air if things don't go the correct call on VAR. He had plenty of rants last season on VAR in some broadcasts, but hopefully he doesn't have too many to have a rant about today. Here they come now, Paris Saint-Germain, and in towards Kvaratskhelia inside the Kvaratskhelia, but wonderful challenge back there from Gabriel to prevent Kvaratskhelia from getting his shot away. And wonderful challenge, and Katia in there too. Who was the left foot of Gabriel, just clearing it away. Short corner taken quickly. He's lifted it towards the back post, trying to put it back in, and just behind it goes. And I mean, we've going to keep the ball in play, and what a fantastic start to the game here. And this is a game which Arsenal have really started well in and deserve to be in front as well. And you've got to say that Arsenal are not giving Paris Saint-Germain a sniff at this moment in time. That could change throughout the rest of this first half or the second half or throughout the 90 minutes. And what I will say, now we've had that early goal, I was going to say to the start, but I didn't want to jinx myself. Every time I've done a live game this season here on the commentary hub, 99 times out of 10, or 99 times out of 100, should I say, I have not had a goalless draw. There have always been goals in it, and today is no different. We've got a goal in this game, and Arsenal lead by a goal to nil thanks to that Kai Havertz strike on 6 minutes, who was giving the Gunners a 1-0 lead and gunned down Paris Saint-Germain very early on in this Champions League. And there's a ball over the top now. Fabian Ruiz threw it across the face of goal, and had Ousmane Dembele being inside the penalty area. As that ball come fizzing across the face of goal, that could have been danger for Arsenal, because there was no one in the centre there for Arsenal. Rice had gone towards Fabian Ruiz. Mosquera had pushed the foot too high up. Gabriel had pushed up and just got back. We wouldn't have been able to get on the end of that. And then Dembele gambled and got on the end of that. That could have been a 1-1 scoreline so far. But as it is, it remains 1-0 to the Arsenal. The chant that has been sung many times around the Emirates Stadium this season and many seasons before as well. We've got a comment in the comment section as well. Media Radio Jingles and Games says, "Come on, you Gunners." Riley said Mike there as well. Says he's not sure what to predict. But this game he's going to go for a safe 2-1 win for Arsenal. And a good friend of mine, Katie, says, "Go on, Russ." Thank you very much, Katie, for the support on the channel. And also big up to Katie, Mike Riley says there. And big up to Media Radio Jingles and Gaming. Says fantastic commentary, guys. Really do appreciate that. Media Radio Jingles and Gaming. And we will see you here tonight as we bring you this game today. As we have the commentary for you. If you're unable to see the game, you can stay with us here on the commentary as we guide you through every kick of the Champions League final. As Marquinhos drops the ball back there to Savinov, who can clear long downfield, up and over halfway it goes. Gabriel almost challenged with his own man there, Kai Havertz, and he gives PSG a free kick there for a foul on João Neves. And it remains Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1 early on here in the Champions League final. The 2026 version of the Champions League final. What a game is so far, as we've only been playing around about quarter of a minute. About 15 minutes played so far. It's still Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1 in the Champions League as we bring you this game today. As the ball is over on that far side as they look to come forward into Fabian Ruiz again, who can play a wonderful crossfield pass towards our left-hand side of Arsenal, right hand side of Paris Saint-Germain. With Marquinhos footballing to Achraf Hakimi, tries to pull the ball back, and he's put behind for a corner kick to Paris Saint-Germain. and Ousmane Dembele goes across to take it as we bring you this game today. If you're tuning in for the very first time here on the commentary, please do us a favour. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the like as well if you're new here. And stay tuned here as Paris Saint-Germain appealing for a penalty there against Bukayo Saka for handball. I want to see this again because I'm not sure it was an handball from Arsenal's store boy, as they like to call him, in North London, in Bukayo Saka. Not seen a replay of that yet. It is Martin Odegaard now as Fabian Ruiz gave the ball away to Kai Havertz. And ball over the top looking for Leandro Trossard. And Savinov has claimed it now. We may get a chance to look at that handball appeal against Bukayo Saka. We will now. And is this handball? No, not for me. He tries to clear it and he bounces up. And that's an accidental handball. And for me, that is not going to be given. Normally, in Europe, I've seen those given, but if it was a Premier League game, that was never going to be given. And I think the referee, Daniel Siebert, because I don't think they'll be given in Germany either, got that one spot on with the call of no penalty for Paris Saint-Germain there this afternoon as we watch this game unfold before our eyes. It's Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1 in the Champions League today, as we keep you bang up to date. Kate says she's listening via TV today, so thank you very much, Kate, for doing that. Please keep us up. Please keep us on, and we'll keep you updated. If you'd like to listen to us this afternoon, going into your early evening, we'll be with you until the trophy has been lifted by whichever side wins it tonight. Let's just remind you that should we remain level at 90 minutes, we will go for a 15-minute period each way, so 30 minutes in total for extra time. Should we remain level after those 30 minutes of extra time and 120 minutes of football, we will go to a penalty shootout to determine who lifts the 2026 Champions League trophy. Will it be Arsenal or will it be Paris Saint-Germain who will be lifting that coveted trophy, European Cup, at the end of proceedings tonight? Here comes Vitinha. Infield, it goes to Nuno Mendes. Down the line to Doué on this near side, the left. He switched play with Elliott. There's Doué there, and he's gone down, Doué. And Paris Saint-Germain won't get a free kick for that, as here is Declan Rice back in the right back position at this moment. Is the Arsenal man who normally plays in the engine room of midfield, where he plays for the Three Lions as well. Will be a big player for Thomas Tuchel this summer's World Cup. Will Declan Rice, probably Bukayo Saka, who's also out on the field for Arsenal. Another one to be watched for England today. Well, not just today, but in the World Cup as well, providing neither of the players, touch wood, don't pick up a knock this afternoon, which will keep them out for the summer's tournament. They'll have a break after today's game, so they will not feature in next Saturday's warm-up friendly for England against New Zealand, and they may feature in the final warm-up match against Costa Rica a week on Wednesday, this upcoming Wednesday, because in 2 weeks on, because in just under 3 weeks now until the World Cup begins. And Scotland played 8 in their first group game, took on a country similar size to 8 in Curacao, and then won by 4-1, having been 1-0 down, with Curacao being down to 10 men in the friendly at Hampden Park earlier today. As the ball is out of play for an Arsenal, throwing over on that far side, not really missing much in terms of action on the field of play, as Fabian Ruiz is just trying to give the ball back to Arsenal, and so too was Achraf Hakimi. The ball from the face of Nkapie, and we'll see some Wickham Gunners there, flag out there over on that far side, supporting the Mikel Arteta's army, Super Mikel Arteta, as the Arsenal fans call him, which is their manager. And can Arsenal do it for England and help England win 3 European competitions in a singular season? And shout out to Evan Gassond, who won 2 of those trophies. He won the Europa League with Aston Villa, and then he won the Conference League with Crystal Palace, because he was able to pick up a medal in both of those, and he played enough games for Aston Villa before his loan to Crystal Palace as well. So big shout out to Negason. I think he becomes the first player to win 2 European competitions in the same season, playing for 2 different clubs. What a stat that is in itself. As David Raya picks up the ball into the penalty from Achraf Hakimi, was too much on that, and it goes through there and it remains 1-0 there as you watch this game here. Watch this game unfold as we bring you this game today. Well, Katie, thank you very much for listening. Even if you tune out and then come back in, that is fine by us. As long as if you even have to go and do something and come back, that's fine with us. Just keep us tuned into us. Make sure you subscribe and keep in touch with some of the commentaries that we've got coming up from this summer's World Cup, because the next coverage you'll have here on the channel will be the World Cup coverage. And I'll be doing the opening game of the tournament on the 11th of June at 8 p.m. on the channel. We'll tell you a bit more about that when we do a preview show a little nearer the time. Make sure you stay tuned for that one. Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1, as we bring you the Champions League final. Can Arsenal win the Champions League? And they've only won the Premier League this season. First, it was the Arsenal going to win the quadruple, all 4 competitions, so Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup, and the Carabao Cup. Then they got knocked out of the FA Cup, so it's down to a treble. Then they got knocked out of the Carabao Cup, lost to the Carabao Cup final to Man City. Then it was going to be a double. They've got 1 part of that double. Can they get the second part here tonight? Skelly will try and change that for Paris Saint-Germain. And the ball is out of play for Fabian Ruiz for a throw to up, which will be taken by Christian Mosquera. There was talks that Jurrien Timber would be playing in the back line in place of Mosquera, and also Ben White, and White is the one who is out injured. And we're just going to have a drinks break here if you approach the 23rd minute of the game. It is quite warm today. Let me just tell you what the temperature read when we got our team sheets just about an hour or so before kick-off. And it says, weather conditions partly cloudy, temperature 25 degrees Celsius, humidity 43%. As we see some of the Platini and some of the UEFA delegates in the crowd there, and be interesting to see how this game unfolds this afternoon. If you're tuning in for the very first time today, hello, welcome along. If you just see the goal again from Kairos, and really run away after Trossard blocked the ball forward, and he should never, I'm going to keep saying it every time I see it, he should never be beating the goalkeeper at his near post like he did. And just look at that reaction on the Arsenal bench from the subs who didn't start and the coaching staff. They're all together, and not, even though they're not playing, they're all together and they're all supporting those 11 players out on the field of play in the Champions League. As we're going to take a quick drink because where the players are right now. And this has been a good opening 24 minutes for Arsenal. Kai Havertz there, the man who put the Gunners into lead and gunned down Paris Saint-Germain in the Champions League. And if you're tuned in for the first time today, thank you very much for doing so. So big up to Katie, who's going to be stay tuned in, but doing stuff in the background there as the game's now back underway in the Champions League. Final after a drinks break there, there's a ball without a play again for another throw into Arsenal. As we watch this game unfold, as we will bring you the Champions League final, which is going to be a big game today for us here on the channel, and it's a milestone for me as well, because I've started doing coaches for quite a while, and I must say this is my second ever Champions League final commentary that I'm doing. Here's Bukayo Saka now for Arsenal. Ball towards the penalty area. Can he make it 2 there? Pushed away. And Safinoff is down inside the penalty area, holding his head, so the referee has to stop play here. Trossard is not happy that he's had to stop play here. Marquinhos is talking to Leandro Trossard there. Kayavert's there again. The Saka with the ball in. And just Trossard catch him. I don't think anybody catches his head there. I think he's gone down. Let's have a look at this angle, will tell us. It's his own player. His own player who catches his head. Then he gets up and another player comes across him and catches his head again. He's just about to get back up here, and it's happening off here. For me, I don't know what other people are thinking. You can tell us your own opinion. You don't have to believe my opinion. But what I will say here is that for me, Safinoff is time wasting here because he was clearly not injured there as he went down. He was about to get back up and got someone to walk across him in front of his face. He's just sitting up now. And Pacho is talking to Daniel Siebert. Marquinhos is there too. Let's just look at it from this angle. You can see what actually happened to the Paris Saint-Germain goalkeeper. Goes down. Maybe just going to slide to touch Trossard on him there. This angle will probably tell us better. It's his own player who catches him. Marquinhos will catch him, and then Pacho moves back across him and catches him again. So his own players who have caught him there. Delivered to get the game stopped while Arsenal are on top. In my opinion, anyway. And don't get me started on people going down to break up the play when opposition teams are on top here. And as Mike says, gamesmanship because we've dominated the opening half hour. I agree there, Mike. He says try to tear this thing out of Arsenal. I agree with that as well, Mike. And this is the first time I've seen it against a different team than Leeds this season, as we've just seen a shot there of Rafa Benitez in the crowd and Roberto Martinez there as well. Arsene Wenger, Luis Figo also in the crowd. Today there's Luis Enrique, who's just calling over some of his players to have a job while Safinoff puts his air back into a bubble and tries to get momentum back in Paris Saint-Germain's favour by taking a little bit of sting out of Arsenal's momentum here. And if you're tuning in for the very first time today, thank you very much for doing so. We are bringing you commentary of Paris Saint-Germain against Arsenal in the Champions League. And you've got to say that this game has been so far so good from an Arsenal persuasion. Daniel Siebert's telling the Arsenal players to get back as he will drop the ball back to Paris Saint-Germain. He's just checking with Safinoff is okay here as Paris Saint-Germain get the game back underway. As is Marquinhos, who sends the ball long downfield, and headed there is won by Gabriel, who is headed back by Odegaard. Luis Skelly is there, and now here comes Paris Saint-Germain again in possession with the Pachal. It's Ross now to Nuno Mendes. Down the line, it goes to Kvaratskhelia. Good ball in field to Nuno Mendes, who plays a wonderful crossfield pass out wide there, and Paris Saint-Germain are coming forward now on the right-hand side. He's in towards the penalty area from Desiree Doué. His ball is blocked. Dembele is there now. Nuno Mendes, João Neves, Fabian Ruiz, all inside the penalty area for the Paris Saint-Germain persuasion. Ball is whipped in towards Nuno Mendes, anyway by Gabriel. Nuno Mendes goes down, no penalty given there. Gabriel fell on him, on his ankle as well, no play down. Paris Saint-Germain continue with possession. Desiree Doué plays the ball out wide to Marquinhos. Further wide it goes. Now as the ball is down the line. Achraf Hakimi will try and keep the ball in play. Goes backwards. Nuno Mendes remains down. It tells Mendes to get back up. Ball in towards the penalty area. João Neves, ball back. Chance Is there a penalty there for Paris Saint-Germain? The referee says no, as Desiree Doué goes down. And I didn't see anything wrong with that. Nuno Mendes remains down. He's now slowly getting back up to his feet. No, he's still down. And Marquinhos has pulled the ball now, finally pulled the ball out of play. So Nuno Mendes can potentially get some treatment, but he's now getting back up here. Let's look at this again from Nuno Mendes. And that's accidental there from Nkapia, I believe it is. As he goes down, Nuno Mendes. And for me, nothing in that at all. As we watch this game unfold, we played 31 minutes in the Champions League final in Budapest. It's Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1. If you're just tuning in, Kai Havertz with the goal on 6 minutes of difference between the two sides as we watch this game unfold here in what's going to be a big game today. Interested to see how this game was unfolding in the second half. Ball over the top there, looking for Fabian Ruiz as David Ray comes out to clear the ball away. I don't believe so either, Mike. Didn't look like any of them was a penalty to me either, my friend, as we watch this game unfold. As we watch this game unfold, big up to our listeners this evening. If you're tuning in for the very first time today, thank you very much for doing so. As we watch this game unfold, can the ball get played across this near side? Here is Fabian Ruiz back into Nuno Mendes. Mendes infield, it goes there to Vitinha. Ball now with Achraf Hakimi. Now Dembele tries to chip the ball into the penalty area. He does get into the penalty area. Paris Saint-Germain have it back with Marquinhos for Vitinha. Arsenal with every outfield player back inside their own half, including the goalkeeper. Every outfield player from Paris Saint-Germain is inside the Arsenal half for the moment as well. Only person inside the Paris Saint-Germain half of this, as it stands right now, is the Paris Saint-Germain goalkeeper Safonov. All the other players are camped inside the Arsenal half of the field. Here's Vitinha just knocking it around well as Paris Saint-Germain look to try and open up this Arsenal defence. Then Dembele drops it back. Achraf Hakimi now gets the ball to the edge of the penalty area. Will the strike come in? He's lifting towards the penalty area, and David Raya claims with ease there from Dembele's chip ball into the penalty area. And you've got to say this, and I've got to say this as well. When I look at this game here today, and I'm looking at it quite well, Paris Saint-Germain are yet to really lay a glove on the Arsenal backline as they've just won a corner. Can they do that now? As a bit of play from Desiree Doué down the right hand side for Paris Saint-Germain. As Paris Saint-Germain will look to take a short corner quickly, and they do. It's Vitinha across to Nuno Mendes on the left hand side. Just a couple of yards in from the touchline. Ball in towards the penalty area. It's cleared away. Saka's there. Races towards the touchline, but moves the ball out of play. And then tries to clear the ball away to Mikel Arteta and the Arsenal coaching staff. They're kicking another ball up the field. So Paris Saint-Germain can't get on with the throwing fairly quickly as they wanted to. That's bad gamesmanship there from Arsenal. Now here comes Paris Saint-Germain with Achraf Hakimi. No ball into the penalty area. The man gone down. No penalty given. It was Dembele who went down inside the penalty area. Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1. Approaching the final 10 minutes of the first half. And we'll go for a quick 5-minute break, but then we'll come back and get the thoughts of Mike Arneman during our half-time interval to see his thoughts on the game this afternoon as we bring you Paris Saint-Germain against Arsenal. Here's Bukayo Saka. He goes down on the challenge of Nuno Mendes and wins his side. A free kick there, does the Englishman. Brilliant play from the Arsenal star boy. And Nuno Mendes commits a foul and gives a free kick. With elbow into the back of Bukayo Saka there, and you can't do that as he's running away, just barges into him, knocks him over. No attempt to play the ball, and the correct call from Daniel Siebert, the German referee, to give Arsenal a free kick. It'll be Declan Rice who will look to deliver this set piece into the penalty area. There's only one man in the Paris Saint-Germain wall, which is Desiree Doué. What can he conjure up here, Declan Rice? He delivers a cross into the heads go up from Gabriel, also from Nketiah, and he's behind for a goal kick to Paris Saint-Germain. Fabien Ruiz just holding his side there as he goes whack to his side. Getting pushed over by Gabriel, and then we had it from Piero Nketiah. If you bring you this game here tonight, is here comes Paris Saint-Germain charging forward. Jean Vitinha. Good bit of play from Vitinha wide to Desiree Doué. His shot is blocked. But he's forced to give a Skelia. Headed away by Saliba. Cleared away. Well there by Arsenal. Trossard does well up against Yao Neves. Then loses out there. Here comes Paris Saint-Germain with Desiree Doué. Wonderful breakaway from Desiree Doué. He goes down. No free kick given as Arsenal with Lewis Skelly will try and come away into Declan Rice. Out to Christian Mascaros. Surprisingly for me, I mean, what Mike was saying earlier, he's done well at the right back spot for Arsenal. Here's Saliba charging over halfway. As Kai Havertz in the centre circle. Back it goes to Piero Nketiah down the line. It goes there to Leandro Trossard. And back it goes again here to Miles Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly will turn away and do really well with Arsenal as they look to keep all of possession as they come towards the end of this first half. And you've got to say that Arsenal have really dominated in terms of possession won, and in my opinion I think this has been really good here from Arsenal's perspective so far. Gabriel with another block there a few moments ago as Paris Saint-Germain tried to come forward on their right hand side. Now we're going to try and come forward down their left hand side. Here's Kvaratskhelia. Back it goes into Nuno Mendes. A ball in field to Vitinha. Vitinha looks up. Gets the ball out wide to Marquinhos. Down the line it goes well into Desiree Doué. Vitinha. Hakimi out wide there now. Round Vitinha again. Good play this from Paris Saint-Germain. They're just knocking the ball around quite nicely. Pachau into Vitinha once more. Pachau and Marquinhos not really had the best of seasons in the central defence, and did a good job on Bayern Munich as Paris Saint-Germain beat them to get to this final against Arsenal. Ball into the penalty area from Nuno Mendes. Cleared away for an Arsenal front. Kai Havertz has gone down, and that could be a red card here for Achraf Hakimi. He just grabbed him by the neck, and for me that is a red card offence. You can't just go around grabbing people by the neck, and for me that's got to be a red. Surely this is not a red. I don't know what is a red. That is a red card. You can't put your arm around his neck and just pull him down like that. That's a red card for me. I do not know why the referee there, Daniel Siebert, has not produced a red card there to Achraf Hakimi. Interested to see what my record is about that when we'll speak to him about the first half and some incidents in the first half, and particularly the goal, because for me, Matvey Stefanov should never be beaten at his near post like he was from Kai Havertz, who leads the line for Arsenal today in a 4-3-3 formation with Martin Odegaard, Declan Rice and Mads Lewis-Skelly in the midfield trio. Martin Odegaard will sometimes push up and make it a 4-2-3-1 and drop in between Saka and Trossard. Other times, Saka and Trossard provide the width and try and supply the lines for Kai Havertz. And it was Trossard's block that got Havertz away coming forward. It remains PSG 0, Arsenal 1 in the Champions League. Vitinha. The ball out wide here. It goes. Good ball for Kvaratskhelia, who's going across to that right hand side as well to try and get a bit of joy up against Arsenal. Try and pull 3-on-1 in terms of putting Due, Hakimi and Kvaratskhelia all on Piero and Capia, because each one of those three pose different threats, and Due comes across this left hand side to team up with Nuno Mendes, João Neves and Fabian Ruiz at times to put pressure on Christian Mosquera when that does happen. Here's Nuno Mendes up against Mosquera now. Like he goes to Ruiz, he plays the ball across into Marquinhos, and now here they come Paris Saint-Germain on the right hand side to approach the final few minutes of the first half. If you're just tuning into us today, Russ Vernon getting you through the actions. We get ready for the first half in the Champions League. Kvaratskhelia gets it into Fabian Ruiz again. Now into Nuno Mendes. Mendes gets into the penalty. Nuno Mendes, ball across. Well, then Fabian Ruiz was in there and heads it just wide. And that really should be 1-0. Paris Saint-Germain really should be level there. A bit of play. Nuno Mendes does really well. Gets the beating of Mosquera quite easily there. Pushes across and Capia just manages to sort his feet out in time, clearing away onto the head of Fabian Ruiz, whose header goes wide in the end. And it's not been a good day so far for Paris Saint-Germain. If you come into the final 2 minutes of the first period, we will have. I'm not sure how many minutes we're having in this first period. We'll let you know as soon as we know how many minutes we'll be added on. But it is fairly warm here today. So warm here in the commentary position as well. We're bringing Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1 in the Champions League, and so far is a scoreline which Gunners fans have got a famous song about. 1-0 to the Arsenal is what the scoreline reads at half time. Or not coming up towards half time, should I say. We're not even at half time yet. Sorry, guys. Are we getting too kind of coming up towards half time there? As here comes Kvaratskhelia. Skips in field. Wonderful run from Kvaratskhelia. Marquinhos. Good bit of play. Dembele shot is eye wide and not so handsome as we come towards the end of this first period. Into the final 60 seconds or less than that now. There's a shot of the former Arsenal striker Thierry Henry, Frenchman. Scored plenty of goals for Arsenal, plenty in the Champions League. Arsenal in the Champions League, lost in the Champions League final in 2006 to Barcelona. We'll be hoping not to fall this year or this year. 20 years on, the Paris Saint-Germain, as the Gunners will look to gun them down and lift up the Champions League or the European Cup, whichever you want to call it, as Arsenal will try and add that safety cushion of a second just before half time as we enter additional minimum of 6 additional minutes at the end of this first period in the Champions Leaguers, we watch this game unfold today. It's a Champions League final in Budapest, where Paris Saint-Germain lead here, fairly, should I say, by a goal to nil after a goal on 6 minutes from Kai Havertz for Arsenal. I'm counting chickens, Mike says. I'm counting chickens, thinking it's going to be half time already. But he remains 1-0 here. Yeah, I really missed it. I meant to say coming up towards half time. Then media radio jingles in gaming. It's Kvaratskhelia. Gets the ball infield to Vitinha. As Paris Saint-Germain look to keep hold of possession and make Arsenal work for their 1-0 lead at half time. Kvaratskhelia goes down. Paris Saint-Germain wanted a penalty, nothing to it in my opinion. And so too of the referee Daniel Siebert. Here is Kvaratskhelia. Infield to Nuno Mendes. Now João Vitinha. A bit of play from Achraf Hakimi. Down the line, it goes here now. Paris Saint-Germain look to get a goal back before half time. Can they do that with a shot like that from Israel Doué? The answer is a resounding no, as that ball goes over the top of the crossbar and into the crowd behind the goal away to my left hand side. If we look at this again, João Neves going down on the challenge of Nketiah, and for me, nothing in that whatsoever. VAR and the officials got that one completely spot on. And Max says more of that, more of that, more of that. That's what he's singing behind the scenes. As Paris Saint-Germain wasted another chance there to equalise before the half-time interval. Can Arsenal punish Paris Saint-Germain for not taking their chances and doubling their lead just before half-time? And the competition doing it as Kai Havertz is in. Kai Havertz for 2-0. And the shot is blocked. In the end, is Kai Havertz almost in for 2-0 in first half stoppage time. And that really should have been 2-0 to Arsenal. But Paris Saint-Germain may punish Arsenal for not taking that chance and get back on level terms here as Vitinha finds Ruiz. And Ruiz gets the ball out wide to Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia drops the ball. Infield for Nuno Mendes. Now Vitinha, who will look up here. Here's Dembele. Ball through towards Achraf Hakimi, which pulled behind for yet another corner kick to Paris Saint-Germain. And the Parisians are looking dangerous now as they look to try and probe and knock on the Arsenal door to try and see if they can break through it before half time. But the referee has stopped the corner from being taken fairly quickly this time around, as we've played almost 4 of the 6 added minutes at the end of this first period in the Champions League final. Headed away on this was Nuno Mendes. Vitinha. Which way is he going to go? Now that's it, Fabian Ruiz. Ruiz with a goal, driven crossing towards David Vernon. Man gone down inside the penalty area, nothing in that for me. And again, Paris Saint-Germain going down inside the penalty area. Marquinhos this time, with nothing in that to give away a spot kick. And we've got left around about 90 seconds or so before the half-time whistle will be blown. And you've got to say the Mikel Arteta, or Super Mick Arteta, as the Arsenal fans call him, will be the happier of the two sides, despite Paris Saint-Germain having a lot of the ball, because Arsenal have defended resolutely. They have not allowed Paris Saint-Germain to have a clear shot one-on-one on goal, as shots from distance. Just look at this again from Kai Havertz. His shot was brilliantly blocked by Marquinhos. He bounced back up off of the Brazilian and he went away to safety from Paris Saint-Germain. But Super Mikel Arteta were happy on the two sides. Yes, Enrique's side had a lot of the ball and a lot of the chances, would yet to really find the breakthrough as we enter towards the final 30 seconds of this first period as Declan Rice is going to launch a throw-in into the penalty area like a catapult to see if he can help Arsenal double their lead before half-time. Rice with that catapult of a long throw into the near post is flicked off. Mosquera's there, flicked away. Again, Kai Havertz goes down. Is he a flag for offside against Kai Havertz? I believe so. Let's see what he's given here. Not sure if he given here. Has he given a corner? Yes, he has. It's a corner kick to Arsenal. Before we end this first bit. So this will be the last action, you would think, of the first half, as we've gone over the 6 minutes of stoppage time at the end of the first period now, and we're coming towards the end of the first half now. Well, the half-time whistle has gone. The corner will not be taken for Arsenal. Time now. And I can tell you that the half-time scoreline is Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1 at half-time in the Champions League. There is, we've got to say that Paris Saint-Germain yet to really test Arsenal much in that first half. Kai Havertz, his goal on 6 minutes is the difference at half-time. We'll be back soon to get the thoughts of Mike Ornament on that first half, and we'll get you some reaction as well from potential people online as well. Will join us in a few moments for the half-time show here on the commentary as we leave you at half-time. Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1. Welcome back to the Commentary Hub's coverage of the Champions League final, where at half-time at the Puskás Arena, as you can see on your screens there, Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1 in the Champions League final. And I'm delighted to say we have got our good friend, resident Arsenal fan, Mike Harleman, who was with us beforehand, with us again now. And Mike, just talk to us about that first half, but more importantly, that first goal, or should I say that goal from Kai Havertz, which has put Arsenal into the lead.
Yeah, so I was saying it to a couple of people earlier this afternoon, in fact, on a couple of streams on X and everything like that, and on Facebook and TikTok and, all the platforms, Instagram, everywhere. To be honest, when I've seen posts about this game, and Kai Havertz is a big game player. Kai Havertz has got experience of scoring goals, winning goals in this competition for Chelsea. So it's I knew he'd have a big impact on this game, and he's duly delivered, yeah.
Absolutely, Mike, absolutely. But Arsenal's defensive shape, and just looking at it now here on the monitor, you can see the back four's working in tangent, then it's the midfield as well. And with Arsenal, you see when Fabian Ruiz goes all the way back to get the ball, you see Mascara push up on him. What have you liked about the Arsenal where they've defended against this Paris Saint-Germain side and not allow them to have any shots in and around from inside the penalty area, but mainly from long ranges, which is going over? Now you rather said, Mike, I don't think David Raya has had a shot to save yet in this first half.
No, I'm pretty sure he hasn't, and not anyone of real note. Anyway, if he touched the ball, because so it's just easily just rolled through to him. But he's not had to make a real big save in this game yet. Whereas, obviously it could potentially have even been 2-0 because the PSG goalkeeper had to make that other save from Havertz as well to stop it from getting to the second there. So Stefan already made the save by Havertz as well. So what I feel is really good. It's really good, solid defensive performance from Arsenal. I think Mascara, he had one or two moments where he got caught out, but he's having a very good game, really, in all fairness. Nketiah the same on the left-hand side. Gabriel, I think, has been sensational. Really man the match for me so far. Saliba is quietly going about his business. They really realise that he's there, which is always a good sign. And it's the same with Declan Rice and that in the middle as well. Lewis Skelly. These players are just quietly going about their job and getting it done.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. I'm just looking at the stats here on the first half. Paris Saint-Germain 77% possession, Arsenal 23% possession. XG, so expected goals so far. Paris Saint-Germain 0.26, Arsenal 0.34. Total shots in the game, 6 for Paris Saint-Germain, 3 for Arsenal. 1 on target each, apparently, which, well, even I can't remember the one from Paris Saint-Germain either, Mike, so
no, not a clue which one. It was obviously a pretty tame effort, yeah.
Yeah, so probably a tame effort there. Also, touches in outside the opposition box, 15 for Paris Saint-Germain, 5 for Arsenal. Goalkeeping saves, Paris Saint-Germain 0. He says that would not go down as a save from Kai Havertz's deflection and then landed in his arms from Marquinhos' block towards the end of the first half. David Raya with 1 save, which is probably from that watch to time, which we don't really recall him making. 4 aerial duels, 1 for Paris Saint-Germain, 6 for Arsenal. 4 fouls committed each. 4 corners for Paris Saint-Germain, 1 for Arsenal so far. And only 1 offside for Arsenal in this game, none for Paris Saint-Germain so far. And total passes,
it's been a pretty fair game, actually, in all fairness as well. PSG have had a couple of moments where they've been trying to claim penalties, which for me, none of them are.
Yeah, none of them are for me as well, Mike.
On Kai Havertz from Hakimi, which for me, at first I was thinking red, same as you, but then secondly, when you see it back, it would be a very soft red. So, I think he's got away with one there in terms of not getting a yellow, but in terms of a red, I think it'd be soft.
Yeah, Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says they don't remember him making any saves either. And big shout out to Katie Louise, who says she's still here listening on. Well, she doesn't understand football. Well, that's okay, Katie. Just enjoy listening.
But that's the thing with the VAR as well. Obviously, if it's not going to be a red card, the referee can't get involved. So the VAR can't get involved. Yeah, they've just got to go with the referee's decision. So for me, maybe he's just been a bit lenient, and I don't.
I've seen them given as the red cards. That's why I did say it could be a red for me. That's why
But it's not been like one of those games. It's not been a very heated kind of game. It's been very calm. It's been very chill. The players have kind of just been getting on with their jobs with their respective teams. It's not been like, really aggressive, like kind of, or anything like that. So for me, I think he's just trying to diffuse the situation and just, carry on with the kind of calm manner of the game. And I think that's the right thing to do.
Yes, absolutely. Total passes in the game: Paris Saint-Germain 345, Arsenal 105. With Paris Saint-Germain 88.7% pass accuracy to Arsenal's 65.7 pass accuracy so far in this game. And for me, like Mike said a few moments ago, player of the match wise so far for me, I'm probably going to say probably Gabriel or Saliba. Either one of those two for me have done well in the back for Arsenal, but Paris Saint-Germain have not really troubled there much. So going forward for Arsenal, I'll probably say, I know he's got the goal, but not just because of that. But his work rate is endeavouring to get blocks in and slow them down at times. Kai Havertz has also done well.
Yeah, he's led the line really, really well. I'm very impressed with how Kai Havertz has played that first half. And obviously, there were questions. There's always going to be questions about whether Victor Gyökeres is rightly not starting or whether he's wrongly not starting. But for me, Kai Havertz has got the experience of winning the trophy, scoring a winning goal in the trophy before. I've always led with Kai Havertz, and so far it's been proven to fruition as well.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. Midway jingles in games just they don't remember Ryan making any saves either. They're also going to say really good first half from Arsenal. I've got to say Arsenal have been the better side in this game, and hopefully it stays like that in the second half, because they don't want extra time or penalties, and neither do I. I don't think some penalties.
Now that we've got the goal, just see it through, do what we need to do defensively, nothing silly, just stay calm. And if you want to go and try and get a second, bring on Martinelli, bring on Jesus, Gyökeres, Eze, and but keep the steadiness of the defence, and we'll be fine. Look like we've got Timber to come on potentially. We've got Calafiori, a lot of experience there that can come on. Marino as well. A lot of good options on the bench here to freshen the team up. So in a really good position. Zuberman is another one I didn't mention there. Dalman as well. So yeah, we've got a lot of options that can come on off the bench and just kind of help us see the game out. So yes, Barcola's there for PSG. Kang In's there for PSG as well. Ramos is there for PSG. Emery's there for PSG. But I don't think they've got a strong enough. I don't think they've got as strong a squad depth on the bench as we have. In all fairness.
Yes, thank you very much there, Max. We're just looking at the air before we go back for the second half of the Kai Havertz potential, not Kai Havertz, the Kai Saka potential and ball. Just briefly, as also plays about to come back out, Mike. What do you make to that Kai Havertz and that Saka and ball towards the end of the first half? Do you think that could have been given? Because for me, I don't think it was. But
absolutely not. No,
I've seen him given though in Europe though.
Never in a million years a penalty. No. You can see, the ball's hit him on the knee. I think it was. He always kicked the ball up, and he accidentally hit himself on it. Accidentally hit his hand. So for me, if you're giving penalties for that, no, the game's gone, mate.
Yeah, no, it's man. I agree with you, Mike. I don't think he was, but like I still say, in this season's Champions League, I've seen those kind of ones be given. Though that's why I just thought that's the question there towards it.
No, none of them. But they've had about 4 or 5 moments where they're trying to win penalties here, and I don't know what. I don't know whether it's because they don't see us, giving away too much else in terms of defensive vulnerability. They can see how strong we are, how strong we've been all season. So they're trying to win these penalties and whatever. But no, for me, not a single one is a penalty. And I just feel that their game plan is dreadful. Their game plan is trying to win penalties and set pieces, and I think they're trying to play us at our own game a little bit, and they're absolutely failing miserably at it.
Yes, absolutely, Mark. As the second half will be about to get underway. Super Mikel Arteta making his way out of the tunnel right now to take his place back in the dugout of the second half. João Neves was when Dembele just speaking there to the match referee ahead of the second half, as we're about to get the second half off and running ahead of the second half, as we will get the game off and running very, very soon. The whistle is about to blow for the start of the second half. With Paris Saint-Germain to get up and underway as we now back underway in the second half in what's going to be a big game and a big second half. And just a reminder that today's referee is Daniel Siebert from Germany. He is the man in charge of the game today for this big Champions League match. Today, Russ Vernon, your man on the microphone, guiding you through the action at the start of the second half. Mini Radio Jingles and Gaming also says it didn't look like a penalty to him either there. So big thank you to your input as well. No changes to either side at half time, and just to keep you updated, as it should have finished level at after 90 minutes. We'll have an extra 30 minutes, 50 minutes each way. Still level, then we'll go to penalties. I do want to say, guys, for those who are watching our feed as well, any subs that are made will not be appearing on the screen. They're due to only me doing the producing side of things. But I can confirm there has been a yellow card at the start of the second half for Christian Mosquera of Arsenal for time wasting over the throw-in early on. So the first yellow card off the game goes to Mosquera for Arsenal for time wasting, and that is the first yellow card of the afternoon here on the commentary hubs coverage of the Champions League final to this season. We'll bring you the match today. Big up to everybody who's listening, and big shout out to JB John Stuttard, our friend and colleague, who wished me good luck for this game today. To say good luck and hopefully they'll bring you all home another English European side victory in the tournament. And I did get a bit of information during the half-time break from my father, Nigel Vernon, with some news in case Arsenal hang on, which I will keep under my eye just in case that does happen. We will come to that at the end of the broadcast should Arsenal win the title in this Champions League today. Is Declan Rice, who finds Leandro Trossard. Trossard drops the ball back to Miles Lewis-Skelly. Lewis-Skelly will take a touch and clip this ball forward. It's headed away and out of play. It will be a throw into Arsenal, which they go on with fairly quickly. Capier's in there fairly quickly up against Dembele. Kai Havertz on its left-hand side looks to deliver a cross in towards the penalty area. Now Trossard is there. Infield to Declan Rice. As Rice finds Saliba. Odegaard runs into trouble and traffic, and Kvaratskhelia can't keep the ball in play for Paris Saint-Germain. As the ball will keep us back to Safanov here as it remains Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1. Let's just run you through the sides again at the start of the second half. Here they're going on your screen in case you've got any people who can't see the screen. It's Safanov in goal for Paris Saint-Germain. Hakimi, Marquinhos, Pacho, Nuno Mendes, João Neves, Vitinha and Fabian Ruiz in midfield. These are Doué, Dembele and Kvaratskhelia. For Arsenal, it's David Raya, Christian Mosquera, who's now under my yellow card, remember. William Saliba, Gabriel and Piero Incapia. It's Paris Saint-Germain. Maybe will break off and give you a bit of a start in a second. It's a chance for Paris Saint-Germain to pull level, but Arsenal defend really well, and Kai Havertz goes down. No free kick given there. The foul on the German midfield for Arsenal then of Odegaard, Rice and Lewis-Skelly, with Saka and Trossard on either side of the German Kai Havertz, who has put his side into a 1-goal lead here and leading the side in this game here today as we bring you the Champions League final in what's going to be a big game. It's already been a big game so far. 1 goal between the two sides, and it's come from the man who wears number 29 for Arsenal, Kai Havertz, in up front in place of Victor Gyökeres today. Gyökeres, I would have thought he would have probably started today, but Kai Havertz has done fairly well when he's played for Arsenal this season, so not surprised to see Kai Havertz start in the attack for the Gunners as well this afternoon. Early evening as we've just approaching 6:15 here in the UK. in the Puskás Arena in Budapest for the commentary today, 6:15 in the UK for anyone listening over there. And just whatever time it is, just 6:15 in the UK, just head whatever time zone and how many hours on or behind, just say what time it is for you right now. As here comes Paris Saint-Germain with the ball downfield, and they will try and come forward here. Paris Saint-Germain with Savinov back. It goes there from him in towards the midfield. Vitinha turns away from his man and will go back to Savinov again as Arsenal just keeping Paris Saint-Germain penned inside their own half. There's Ashraf Hakimi. And Capio challenges him and he goes down and gives away a free kick there. And it remains PSG 0, Arsenal 1. And some news just coming in, which me and Mike spoke back at the top of the show. Arne Slot, you may remember, left Liverpool. And I mentioned that Andoni Iraola is the front runner to be the new Liverpool boss, and Liverpool will be holding talks with the former Bournemouth boss this weekend to try and finalise the deal for him to become the new Liverpool boss fairly quick. So that is a developing story from the Premier League. So Arne Slot out in Liverpool, and it looks like Andoni Iraola could be the man to come in at Anfield. Media radio jingles and games says, right, come on, you're going to set us up another good half of for Arsenal after that fantastic first half performance. Big up to you, my friend. Hopefully you're enjoying our coverage today here on the commentary, as we'll bring you the match in full today to the conclusion, and we'll also bring you the trophy presentation, and then in between the game finishing and the trophy presentation we'll have a break and we'll get the thoughts of Mike Harneman as well, and we may even bring Mike in on the second half if there's a water break in the second half or a drinks break. We'll bring him in to see how he thinks the second half has gone so far when we do have that water break. But so far the game's in full flow as Paris Saint-Germain looking to come forward. But there is Gabriel to drop it all the way back to David Ray, who sends it long downfield up and over halfway. There's a challenge there. It's Leandro Trossard who gives away a free kick. Foul on Fabian Ruiz. And Vitinha takes the free kick quickly instead. Here is Vitinha. And now here they come. Paris Saint-Germain with Kvaratskhelia up against Mascara and Bukayo Saka. And the Arsenal duo come out on top, and the ball's out of play for Paris Saint-Germain throw. Back inside their own half now with the Chow across now to Dembele. What can Ousmane Dembele do down the right hand side? Goes into the penalty area for João Neves. The cross in there, cleared away. These are Duez in there, challenging his Bukayo Saka. And Arsenal can break now. Well, the referee has stopped the play, and Bukayo Saka maybe is being penalised in a yellow card for the Arsenal store boy. And that's the second player to go into the referee's notebook. And it's another yellow card for an Arsenal man, Saka this time. And for me, I think Saka won the ball fairly here. Let's have a look at this again. He wins the ball. He can't do all that. He's won the ball and he's jumping over him. He's jumping over him. Where's he supposed to put his legs? For me, that is not a yellow card for Bukayo Saka. My oh my. This referee there has got that decision wrong. That, in my opinion, some may disagree and that's fine. It's not a yellow card for Bukayo Saka, and it's not a free kick for Paris Saint-Germain. So if Paris Saint-Germain score from here, Arsenal can feel rightly aggrieved there. Where's he supposed to do? He's won the ball and he's jumping over the man to run away with possession. And the man is sliding in. Where's he supposed to put his legs? Free kick to Paris Saint-Germain anyway. Because I'm going to turn into Paulie and have a rant about referees and VAR and officials of this rate if I don't keep quiet. A shot comes in here. Shot in and saved by David Raya. There's Achraf Hakimi with the effort. And a poor effort as well from the Paris Saint-Germain defender. And the Moroccan. But for me, that was not a foul. As here comes Paris Saint-Germain again, it's Kvaratskhelia. The ball down the line to Desiree Doué. Back to Kvaratskhelia again. Vitinha to Marquinhos. Marquinhos to João Neves. Achraf Hakimi. João Neves. Achraf Hakimi. There you go. Finds Vitinha this time. And he finds Nuno Mendes. The ball in from Paris Saint-Germain as they're just keeping the ball, making Arsenal the running in the lead to the moment. Is this Romao there? Here they come again, Nuno Mendes inside the penalty area. Cleared away. Is it out of play for a throw-in? Yes, but it's a throw-in to Paris Saint-Germain, which is what the nominated home side will be wanting to have. A bit more possession, keeping Arsenal pending inside their own half. But Arsenal still lead by a goal to nil thanks to Kai Havertz, his strike here. Ball towards the penalty area, comes towards the back post. Trossard is there to clear it away. Only as far as Achraf Hakimi gets there. And he comes in now. Can they get in towards the penalty? Trossard is cleared it away. Kai Havertz chasing after this here now. But sure, is that a foul there on Butcher by Havertz? It is. Free kick to Paris Saint-Germain. Butcher is down. And the referee, who's got a couple of decisions wrong there, in my opinion, this is not a foul by Kai Havertz. And also should have had a free kick but by Trossard. And he went to free kick in the first place, which Achraf Hakimi saw his effort saved by David Raya quite comfortably. Mike says behind his head. To that question when I said about where Saka's supposed to put his feet earlier, I just seen you coming there, Mike. It did make me laugh, my friend. The Super Mick Arteta knows exactly what Arsenal fans need to win this Champions League so far. Will it be that Havertz goal? Will that be enough to bring the trophy back to North London? Where Arsenal fans will be singing North London forever if they end up winning this one long into the night. And I know one man will be singing that tonight later on as well. Is Mike Harneman, and we've just seen a foul there by Nuno Mendes on Bukayo Saka. 58 and a half minutes played here. It's Paris Saint-Germain 0, Arsenal 1 in the Champions League. As we keep you locked into us here on the commentary of the only channel to hear commentary like this. Passionate commentary covering your team here on commentary with dedicated commentators. I'm myself, Russ Vernon. We've got Mike Harneman, we've got Paul James, JB John Stuttard amongst others, Nicholas Jones as well. And speaking of Nicholas Jones, go and check out Nicholas Jones's commentary from last weekend in the League One playoff final between Bolton and Stockport, which you can do so by clicking the link in the description of this video after we have finished tonight, and go and show some support to our good colleague Nicholas Jones. And a big shout out from everyone here at the commentary hub, because as well as working with us moving forward, Nick has got in at IMG as a runner, doing running and taking things there to different booths and drinks and everything there to sort out his freelance career in the world of media and sport and broadcasting, which is good to see one of our colleagues succeeding and moving on in the world. And Mike was just drinking there to drink into Stockport's tears there, as I mentioned, Stockport losing to Bolton there, which is a great commentary from Nicholas Jones last week. I mean, if I do say so myself, I actually listened to that while I was editing it for him last week. Really good job, does Nick. He always does a great job. And Mike has applied for a few positions in the media too, which we'll talk about after the game before we finish our coverage this evening. So please make sure you give Nick and Mike your full support if you see him or hear them on the TV or see them in the future at future games. And no, this place here, the Comment Club, is where you heard them from first. As the ball from Paris Saint-Germain is deflected behind by Mosquera for a corner kick, which is good to see people applying to try and get into the industry world that we all aspire to be in, broadcasting, commentary, and even presenting, producing, or even helping out behind the scenes with clubs as well. As Ashraf Hakimi now wins the header on the edge of the penalty from that corner, which was punched clear by David Raya. Here is Nuno Mendes now for Paris Saint-Germain as they look to come forward. Edge of the penalty area from Kvaratskhelia, and the referee has said penalty. The referee is giving a penalty to Paris Saint-Germain, I believe, for a foul on Kvaratskhelia. And you can see there's blood on his leg. And the referee is giving a penalty. A foul layup on Kvaratskhelia. And Paris Saint-Germain have a way back into this final. Mosquera and the referee just having a word. Going Odegaard to go and a chat with Martin Odegaard. Let's just look at this again. Nemo doing his Musk. Who is it who's found him? It's Mosquera. He's on a yellow card. And for me, if he's giving this as a foul, he's, for me, and just my opinion here, that could potentially be a second yellow card for Christian Mosquera. And Paris Saint-Germain have a way back into this final. We're on the penalty spot. VAR though, or checking the penalty. I can tell you VAR or checking the penalty kick right now. As you can see on your screen there, underneath the scoreboard, VAR penalty check in this game. Will the penalty be awarded? Check over, penalty given. And Paris Saint-Germain now have a chance from 12 yards to go on level terms in the Champions League final. And this could be a way for Paris Saint-Germain to get back into this game. David Raya is being told to get back on his line. And Christian Mosquera is one lucky boy, because for me, that could have been a second yellow card for the Arsenal right back. And the man who is putting this ball down on the spot to take this penalty kick for Paris Saint-Germain will be, let's see if we can tell you who it's going to be. It looks like maybe Vitinha to take it. But Vitinha's moved it away. And it's going to be Ousmane Dembele, who will wear the Paris Saint-Germain number 10. Dembele steps up and sends David Raya the wrong way. And we're level in the Champions League final now. 65 minutes on the clock. And Dembele has level things. And Arsenal are pegged back to Ousmane Dembele. On 65 minutes. And it's 1-1 now in the Champions League. And as it stands right now, we will be heading for extra time unless Arsenal or Paris Saint-Germain can find a way back into this game and turn this game on its head again. 65 minutes on the clock, 20 minutes into the second half, and we're all square now. Paris Saint-Germain won, Arsenal won, and Arsenal now making a substitution, and Jurgen Timber is on now for Christian Mosquera. And for me, Mosquera should have been sent off for a second book. Well, for me, that's it. For me, some referees would have given him a second yellow there. For me, I think he should have been as Martin Odegaard will make way as well for Victor Gyökeres. So a double change there for the Gunners. Which is Odegaard for Gyökeres and Jurgen Timber. Come on. For Christian Mosquera. And now Arsenal have it all to do as they will try and get their noses back in front in this game. And for me, I think Mosquera was the one lucky boy not to be seen a second yellow there. Excuse me, as we watch this game unfold. Can Victor Gyökeres turn this game around as Paris Saint-Germain win a free kick? Followed by Miles Lewis Skelly. And it will be a free kick to Paris Saint-Germain, which Vitinha will take. Into João Neves. Vitinha again. Pacho. Now into Marquinhos. Ball sent long downfield. Headed away by Gabriel. Trossard. Havertz. Flicks it on. The child there clears it away. It's no Arsenal shirt. He's in the vicinity of that flick on. But the offside flag is up there. And Jurgen Timber just telling his Arsenal players around him and teammates just to calm it down a bit. As the offside flag was up there against Kai Havertz. It remains 1-1 if you're just tuning into us. It was a goal on 6 minutes through Kai Havertz, which also led for almost an hour, till the 65th minute, when Ousmane Dembele scored from the spot after Christian Mosquera had fouled Marquinhos. Well, fouled Kvaratskhelia, as now here comes Achraf Hakimi's cross is blocked behind for a corner. Mike has been in touch again. He says, when you said that a red first one wasn't a yellow for me, the time wasting one, that one was a yellow though, in his opinion. Okay, Mike, but for me, with him being on a yellow card, that's why I thought it could have been a red, Mike. On a yellow card, and that one was a definite one, should have been in booking. That's why for me, I thought he was looking out to see red. Here comes, this is what we're doing now. Will Arsenal's season collapse now in the final of the Champions League? They've already won the Premier League, but can they do the Champions League as well? The ref, no, if they keep like that, he's 1-1 in the game now. Media Riggles jingles again and says, I don't think it should have been a penalty, at least he's not being sent off. Right, Arsenal, don't mess around now, he says. Big thank you for your support, Media Radio Jingles and Gaming. Mike says, Hakimi could have been a red though, so he gets evens it out. Yes, I agree with you there, Mike. And we'll be bringing you some more Champions League games next season here. And we'll try to bring you some games in the Europa League and the Conference League next season as well. We try and cover all British teams are going to be in Europe next season. 9 English Premier League sides are going to be in Europe. So there's a drinks break happening right now. So I've got that drinks break and a break in play. Gives me time to have a bit of breather as well. And bring in a man who's watching this game with us today. As a pundit, been speaking half time and we'll be speaking in full time. Well, Mike Horniman, what's been your thoughts on the second half so far and in this Champions League final?
Yeah, much better from PSG. I think they've been a lot better in the second half, and they had to be as well. I feel that Arsenal, dominated the first half, really controlled it, really good in possession. PSG didn't really create anything in terms of chances, and so they've obviously had to be better in this half, and they have been. I think that when you look at it, the goal has kind of come on the back of them playing well so far in this second half. So, yes, it's a penalty for me. You can't really argue with that. And for me, I get your point on Mosquera about why it could have been a red, but also I don't know why he was booked the first time around. I'm not too sure whether it was for taking too long over a throw or whatever it was. But for me, I'm not sure that there was anything really in that in terms of giving him a yellow the first time. When he could have just given a warning, and obviously given a warning to Hakimi for a lot worse. So I personally feel that it would have been harsh for him to see red, and obviously we've got Timber on now as well. So Mosquera's obviously come off to kind of protect him a bit. So let's see what happens in the last 20 minutes or so, plus any injury time, and then see what happens if it goes to penalties as well. But for me, Mosquera, no, I think he's a little bit fortunate, but for me, I'm not too sure why the first one was a yellow anyway.
Thank you very much there, Mike Horniman. Mike Horniman's thoughts there on the second half so far. Against thoughts on the full second half in between either the trophy presentation or the extra time period starting, as well as we bring you the game here, and we'll bring you the thoughts of any other people who are going to comment, who want to comment their thoughts. Leave it in the live chat and we'll get to them as and when. It is Ousmane Dembele's penalty now for Paris Saint-Germain. Takes a weak effort and it goes wide and behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. And you can see Arsenal giving the ball away. David Raya played it straight to Achraf Hakimi, who played in Ousmane Dembele, who rushed it a little bit and sliced it in the end. And he really should have done better. But Gabriel has done well again there, and for me, played absolutely fantastic at the back, being a rock at the back. And if he goes to extra time, guys, I will give my player of the match at half time in extra time. If he doesn't go to extra time, I'll give it as soon as the final whistle goes, before I go and take a breather before the trophy presentation. The shot comes in from distance from Paris Saint-Germain and over from Fabian Ruiz with the effort there. Again, his crowd. Hopefully, does Vitinho actually with the effort, and his effort went eye wide. And also Anson, he's getting his crowd up, getting the crowd up for it, and his team up for it as well. Now they're sensing a bit of blood in now, Paris Saint-Germain. They're sensing they're on top here. They're sensing that they can go and get a second and go and win this in normal time without taking it to extra time. Here comes Havertz, who flicks his chest after he don't flick on, and he gets there. Havertz play through towards Bukayo Saka, but Saka off his out there brilliantly to claim well, and remains Paris Saint-Germain 1, Arsenal 1. 73 minutes on the clock here. If you're just tuning into us here this afternoon, Russ Vernon ganning through the action as we watch Paris Saint-Germain take on Arsenal in the Champions League, as we bring you the Champions League final. We're not covering many Champions League games this season, but we'll try and cover more games next season where we can. My reckons also need to bring on Zubimendi or Enesio Martinelli in this one, but see if Super Mick Arteta will do that, or whether he'll not do that at all. We'll have to wait and see what Super Mick has got up his sleeve, but because he knows exactly what they need. As the Arsenal fans were chanting last week at Selhurst Park as they celebrated winning the Premier League title for the first time in 22 years. And Arsenal get their noses back in front in this game. Leandro Trossard will try and help them do that as he runs away with possession. He keeps holding the ball. As Miles Lewis Skelly now. Back into Trossard. And Trossard goes down. And he wins his side a free kick there, Leandro Trossard. A bit of playlist from Leandro Trossard. Honestly, we'll watch this game unfold in this game this evening. Russ Vernon, your man on the microphone today for this game between Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal in the Champions League final. My second Champions League commentary on the commentary hub, because normally we have one of my other colleagues doing the games, but others are unavailable this year, so I stepped into the breach to do it. To know that Mike, we've also been involved, and probably won't be able to contain his emotion during the commentary, especially after them winning the league last week. But it's always good to have Mike as part of our team on the punditry side of things, as the ball is cleared away and out of play for a throw into Arsenal, which Trossard will look to take quickly, will he? Yes, he does. Into Victor Gyökeres. Back to Trossard again. Gyökeres once more. Back to Trossard again. Trossard delivers a cross into the penalty area. Luis Skelly can't get there. Gabriel was up there too. Trossard once more. Nkapie now. Nkapie delivers a cross. Too deep. He breaks now for Jurrien Timber on the right hand side. Saka. What can Bukayo Saka do here now? Twists inside. Shot is blocked as he tries to have a shot from the edge of the penalty. It was a penalty cleared away by Pachau. And Ryan swings it back. Saka on the edge of the penalty, loses out. Pachau can't get the ball away. And now Kvaratskhelia is away. He's away from Jurrien Timber on the left side. As he towards the penalty. Kvaratskhelia still going. Kvaratskhelia! Shot is deflected behind for a corner. And Paris Saint-Germain looked like he was going to be going the front from Kvaratskhelia there. Kvisha Kvaratskhelia, brilliant run away there. Thank you for that, for your support, Kate. It really does mean a lot as we bring you this game today. I did a few as well in the Champions League this season. And previously we also beat Atletico 4-0, being one of the games Mike's covered in the Champions League previously. But not many Arsenal games in the Champions League is done on the channel, but we will do a few next season hopefully for us, and we'll also bring you, and all being well next season, providing things are okay and other commitments as well. Hopefully next season I'll be either back here again in the exact same seat on the commentary again next year, or in a different seat with somebody else doing the commentary next season as well. But my second commentary on the channel on the Champions League final is good here. Mike says he can barely watch this game today, and Mike will be back on the channel with us this summer, covering some of the World Cup action from USA, Mexico and Canada, as we bring you as many as the 104 matches from the World Cup. And if we had 104 different commentators and people working for us, we'd bring you every single one if we could. But that's not going to be humanly possible due to other commitments and time zones and stuff like that. But here comes Ousmane Dembele, and just doing our way for Paris Saint-Germain. He's still going to win. Is he going to pull it off the foul? He is. Which way is he giving the free kick? He's giving it to Arsenal. He's going to do it. Just he's Miles Skelly and Ugg there, and a free kick to Arsenal. It goes. What can this game do here now? And in my opinion, and there's some people disagree, and that's fine. It's about opinions. Also, should have been down to 10 men. Some may disagree, and that's fine, but for me, it should have been down to 10 men. As Nolly Madueke is about to come on for Arsenal. Max, I can see Mike there, and he's still saying, why is Gyökeres is in? Is he Victor Gyökeres? No, he slips on the bar to a moment. In fact, it was Trossard who slipped to the bar to a moment as he was in behind there. It also could have gone 2-1 up. Paris Saint-Germain have managed to recover from that after he slipped there. Now is Achraf Hakimi, Madueke and Martinelli are about to come on for Arsenal here now. I wonder which two play. Probably Saka and maybe Trossard will be the ones coming off, I would imagine, here for Arsenal. We'll have to wait to see if I'm correct. And if that is the case where I'm correct, Madueke to the right, Martinelli to the left, Havertz and Gyökeres up front, Lewis Skelly and Rice in the midfield in a 4-4-2 formation. Here is Marquinhos to Hakimi. Now Ruiz back into Marquinhos. Across there to Nuno Mendes by Vitinha. Kvaratskhelia. Vitinha. Here is Ousmane Dembele. Vitinha again. Now into Kvaratskhelia. Still Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia still going. He loses that to the final moment. And here comes Arsenal running away with possession. It's Yuri Timber. He runs into trouble. And now Paris Saint-Germain are charging forward. He's into the penalty area they go. Desiree Doué is there. Shot is blocked. Behind for a corner kick to Arsenal. And Arsenal still going here as they're going to be making a double change. Now, in fact, is it? And will they do it after this corner as we see Paris Saint-Germain fans just dancing and celebrating after seeing their team come from 1-0 down to the back on level terms. There's a man down inside the penalty area for Arsenal. It's Miles Lewis Skelly who is down inside the penalty area here. Let's see what happens here. It's Marquinhos who just pushes him over there. And Marquinhos could be booked for that on another, could have been booked for that on another day. Corner now will be taken in towards the penalty, flicked on at the near post by Bachau, and just over then in this Leandro Trossard for Gabriel Martinelli, and Bukayo Saka for Noni Madueke is the other one. So the two wingers who started, Trossard and Saka, will be replaced here by Gabriel Martinelli and Noni Madueke in this game for Arsenal. As Paris Saint-Germain make a substitution here as well. Kvaratskhelia is off, and on in his place comes Bradley Barcola. And now that substitution there for Paris Saint-Germain must be a welcoming boost for Arsenal, because Kvaratskhelia has caused Arsenal a number of problems. Havertz is in behind. Will he break for the German? No. Breaks for Victor Gyökeres, the Swede, though, instead. Gyökeres finds Nkapie. Good applause from his teammates. Nkapie again tells him where he wants to go. Down the line to Havertz. Back to Nkapie. Infield out to us with Gyökeres in behind. Cleared away. Goes out to play for a throw-in. Mikel Arteta comes running out to his technical area to get the ball. Also to take it quickly. Havertz leaves it here for Nkapie. But then Nkapie will leave it for Declan Rice here. And will Declan Rice launch this one into the penalty area? And I wonder what Arsenal will be wanting with this Rice if they score from this. Declan Rice launches this one into the penalty area. He's bouncing around in there. Will he break? Cleared away off of the line from Paris Saint-Germain. Arsenal will come again. Well, they know the one because Timber slipped to the final moment. And now, Barcola is away. Bradley Barcola is in behind him. David Ray comes out to the edge of the penalty and claims it well and pulls it away. But Bradley Barcola brilliantly gets away from it. But Paris Saint-Germain are coming back, and Alan Barcola again in towards the penalty area. Also clear it away. Martinelli turns away but runs into trouble. In the shape of Marquinhos for Vitinha. Vitinha lines up a strike, is blocked. João Neves, back he goes now. Into the path there of Safanov. Good play from Paris Saint-Germain. Wonderful bit of play. Keeping the ball. Marquinhos. Good ball, it goes here now in field to Vitinha. Fabian Ruiz with possession for Paris Saint-Germain. Vitinha again. Marquinhos, how wide it goes to Doué. Hakimi, back it goes now to João Neves. Hakimi again. Doué. Neves. Good bit of play. Vitinha. 1-1 is the scoreline. If you're just tuning into us here on the commentary, you can see the scorers on the screen. Dembele and Havertz with the goal scorers. We're into the final, which was the final 4 minutes of stoppage time. Plus 4 minutes of the 90 plus stoppage time to go. After Hakimi's shot is blocked. Behind for a corner kick to Paris Saint-Germain. And he's now or never for the Parisians. Can they find what will be a winner if they are to find it here? I can see Mike was hiding behind the sofa there for a second while he's watching this game. Dembele with the corner kick in. Comes all the way through. Ruben Madueke back in from Vitinha. And now Martinelli has got the ball and he's racing away from us on the right hand side. Madueke is through, but the pass is poor. And the pass is poor from him there. Martinelli, what was that? Oh, had he played that right, Madueke would have been in and he could have squared it for Jokovic to score. For also to potentially win the game. But that is a moment of madness from Arsenal, and one, in my opinion, which could, I'm not saying will, but could potentially cost Arsenal winning the Champions League now. Paris Saint-Germain will be looking to make them pay for that miss there. Can they do this with Doué on the right hand side? Hakimi there into the penalty, flicked on by Neves. It comes out to Reith. Reith with the cross back into the penalty. Hakimi round the back. He takes the flesh off and Capri does it. It comes off in Hakimi last. Behind for a goal kick to Arsenal. We're into the final 90 seconds of this game. I was just seeing this the flick on him cleared him from inside. And Capri with the flick on. It was cleared from just as a goalkeeper was going to get there from Nuno Mendes, and he could have left Nuno Mendes for his goalkeeper to bounce on and fall down to the ground on and hold on to the ball and keep it tight for Paris Saint-Germain there from that long throw. Will Arsenal get one more chance to potentially win it inside the 90? Or will Paris Saint-Germain get one last chance to win it inside the 90? He's out of play for a throw and Capri takes it quickly. We're into the final almost into the final 90 seconds. Almost into the final 90 seconds of this game, plus stoppages. Will there be a winner in normal time, or will Mike's prediction earlier to me saying we'll go to extra time and extra time come to fruition in the end? I hope he won't, and I hope he won't. But let's see what happens here. Doué can come away with the ball for Paris Saint-Germain. He goes down the player, shot, and just over the top of the crossbar from Vitinha. And Vitinha with an effort over the top of the crossbar. How has David Ray got cramp? He has not done anything today. You cannot have cramp, David Ray. You've not done anything. This is what we do here. No penalty there. There's a shot coming from Vitinha just over the top of the crossbar. And David Raya goes down with cramp. How has he got cramp there? He's play acting there for me. As the seconds tick down and we could end up going to extra time in this game, as the Paris Saint-Germain players run across get some fluids on board. Also, players are doing the same while Raya receives treatment. As we enter stoppage time now. 6 minutes of stoppage time at the end of this game. 6 more minutes unless there's a winner. We've got 6 more minutes until extra time unless there is a winner. Could there be a winner in stoppage time? Who will be the hero for Arsenal? Or who will be the hero for Paris Saint-Germain in stoppage time? Next goal could be crucial. And next goal could potentially win it. And give one set of fans jubilation and joy. The other part of it could give fans heartbreak, tears. They're seeing it come crashing down. Arsenal already won the Premier League. They're looking to do the League and Champions League double. Last time Arsenal in the Champions League final, I believe, was back in 2006. They lost to Barcelona 2-1. Is this going to repeat itself? And Arsenal lose 2-1 again today, I wonder. Or will Arsenal be on the right side of a 2-1 victory today? Mike did say 2-1 to the Arsenal. Or 1-0 earlier. 1-0 went out of the window when Paris Saint-Germain equalised. With 2-1 there. He's still manifesting that 2-1. Is Mike. Will it be 2-1? Or will we have extra time to play in this game? I wonder. Will it be an extra 30 minutes required to separate these two sides? And maybe even penalties? Or will there be one final hero for either one of these clubs? Arsenal, we're looking to see if they can get an hero. They need a hero. We're looking out for an hero till the end of the night. Gyökeres has been penalised for a foul. Free kick to Paris Saint-Germain. They're just going to take their time and send this ball long downfield, will they? They're just passing the ball around at the moment. Could it be now or never for the the Peruvians? Can Paris Saint-Germain somehow find a way to win this game? Ramos is about to come on for them. Next time the ball goes out of play, he's going to do it. Finds Achraf Hakimi. He's going to do it again to Hakimi. Now Ruiz. Ruiz beats Marquinhos. Now Vitinha. Marquinhos again. Ruiz. Once more. Good bit of play to Desiree Doué. Desiree Doué charging forward, low cross in. Comes back to Desiree Doué again. High cross in this time. Barcola is there. He heads it backwards. Paris Saint-Germain just keeping all the possession. Making Arsenal do the running towards the end of this game. Martinez nicks the foot in. He's out wide now with Achraf Hakimi. Infield to Ruiz, back to Hakimi again. João Neves. Marquinhos. Could there be one last hero for Paris Saint-Germain? Break Arsenal's hearts in the Champions League final. Just like Barcelona did back in 2006. Here they come now. Paris Saint-Germain looking to do that. João Neves. Infield to Vitinha. Good ball into the path of Mendes. Good ball out wide. Vitinha once more. Mendes again. Marquinhos again. What a chance here for a goal to potentially win this game now. Here comes Paris Saint-Germain, Hakimi. Marquinhos. He's just passing the ball around here, Paris Saint-Germain. They need to get the ball into the penalty area. Paris Saint-Germain will probably be happy with that extra time at this rate. They'll be with the cross in. Cleared away by Arsenal. And Madueke is breaking the ball away for Kai Havertz. Havertz goes down. Free kick. Yellow card for João Neves. João Neves of Paris Saint-Germain will go into the book. With a foul there on Kai Havertz. Late on here. It looks like, unless we'll have extra time, as Dembele is the one coming off for Ramos. It's although Ramos on for Ousmane Dembele, here the scorer of Paris Saint-Germain's goal. There, will we see a winning goal here for Arsenal from this free kick? It's now or never for the Gunners if they are to gun down Paris Saint-Germain in normal time. Gabriel hits it across the face of goal, flicked on. Rice says it's away to Gabriel again. Gabriel, Martinelli, does it across into the penalty. Harris is in there, cleared away. Anyway, we'll do now for Arsenal inside the penalty. Paris Saint-Germain will also have one last chance to win it. Madueke, chance now or never. Timber, he's getting to the penalty area. Ball is inside the penalty area now. Gabriel was up there. Cleared away, Declan Rice, handball against Rice, but advantage is played. And now when the ball call is breaking away for Paris Saint-Germain. When the ball call inside the penalty, ball call into the side netting. And that could be that. And that could be extra time. That could be extra time. The referee is not blown yet. We're not going to extra time. Looks like it'll be. As soon as this goal kick is taken. In fact, the goal kick will not be taken. It's an extra 30 minutes to be played. 15 minutes each way. Extra time will follow here on the channel. But full time at the Puskás Arena after 90 minutes is Paris Saint-Germain 1, Arsenal 1, and we will be with you in a moment to speak to Mike on that second half in full. But we will be getting an extra 30 minutes, 50 minutes each way. We're just going to take a quick break before we come back to speak to Mike. Welcome back to the Commentary Ups coverage of the Champions League final, where we've gone to extra time in this game between Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal. We'll get those Mike on them very, very shortly, but before we do that, let's just go and bring you our player of the match, which I've chosen and had ready, which I was going to wait till half time and extra time. I'm going to give it now, in fact, in between full time and extra time. And our player of the match, they're sponsored by Football Live, is gone to Arsenal's number 6, Gabriel. 76.7% passing accuracy, 30 passes. It's been a menace at the back. Gabriel Magalhaes, Arsenal's number 6, our player of the match today, as we see Mikel Arteta speaking to his troops in a circle around him as we wait extra time to get underway. But Gabriel is our player of the match today. Let's bring in Mike Conman on that first off, as Havertz and Lewis Skelly are going to come off with Eze and Supermendi coming on. Mike, do you think that's a correct call at the start of extra time for Arsenal?
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's a good decision to get Supermendi on. I think that's needed. And I think that Havertz has had a very, very good game and obviously got the goal. But, yeah, I think going back to the system, it was working so well in the first half. I think because they need hopefully work in our favour. So, yeah, I think that's a smart decision there in terms of the subs. So that means that we've made all of our subs, or we've got one more left. I have to check over that because I think Eze is there on the bench. But I think that's all of our subs made, isn't it, that we can make?
Yes, I believe that's all you can make. You've picked on Timber, Zubimendi, Martinelli, Gyökeres, Madueke, Eze. So that's 6 now, because you can make 5 and then 1 extra in extra time. So that's all your 6 subs. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so that is 6. So we've got no Eze. Did you say Eze was coming on? Yeah, Eze's just come on for Kai Havertz. Yeah. So this is so Eze. Yeah, this is what we needed to do. This is good. This is smart. Yeah. His extra time is underway, as we're back underway for the first period of extra time in what's going to be a big 15-minute period between these two sides. The seal comes out on top. We will, if there's no breakthrough after the next 15 minutes, we will have another 15 minutes. If there's no breakthrough after the next 30, we'll have penalties to decide who will win this Champions League. And big up to Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says, good commentary, guys. He also says, good choice, Russ. I thought Gabriel has played well this game over. He did like how Havertz played as well. And yes, Havertz was up there, but for me, Gabriel's been a rock at the back for Arsenal, and he's shut out above everybody else for me in terms of. Yeah, I think Gabriel, I called it at half time, I think, or just before the end of the first half, that Gabriel was having a really, really good game. And he's, that's been sturdy. He's had a very sturdy game all throughout, yeah. Absolutely, Mike Ottoman there with his thoughts on my player of the match. Gabriel there as well, as we see his first period of extra time underway. Also, can no longer make any more changes now to this side out there. So there will be some tired legs out there who can walk on the fresh legs of Noni Madueke Douia as he races into the penalty. Low ball and looking for Victor Gyökeres. But Child puts it behind for a corner kick here, and this has been a very, very good game. Wonderful crossing, low centering, and he's just put away in the end. And a really good game this so far to watch. And if you're tuning into us today, really good to have you with us today. If you're tuning in for the very first time, you're not in this game, you've missed quite a bit of this game. Arsenal opened the scoring on 6 minutes through Kai Havertz, and then Dembele equalised from the penalty spot on 65 minutes after Marquinhos was fouled by Christian Mosquera. So that has taken us to extra time as the ball from Madueke is cleared into the penalty area from a corner, cleared away, and back out again there, and it remains 1-1. We're running through the sides again in a couple of moments' time in the game here, and be interested to see what happens in this game. next 30 minutes of play, or whether we will get have to go to the dreaded P word. Everything set up for the dreaded P word there in a moment for our screens in case we go that way. I said so just in case, but I was hoping we wouldn't have to use it, but that's probably becoming a reality that we may have to use the penalty shootout graphic for this game today, as we will watch you unfold as ball is sent along by Safanov. We'll just remind you of the two sides in a second. We'll start off with Paris Saint-Germain as the ball's going straight out of play. It's Safanov in goal now. Mendes, Pachero, Marquinhos and Hakimi. Ruth, Vitinha, Neves, Barcola, Ramos and Doué. For Arsenal, this is how the Gunners line up now. David Raya remains between the sticks. Nkapie, Gabriel, Saliba and Timber across the back. Zubimendi and Declan Rice midfield. Cross Martinelli, Madueke, Jan Jokkers. And here's Madueke now to Yuri Timber. And there's a man down. Now Neves is down. And a free kick has been given to Paris Saint-Germain. Timber keeping the ball. Daniel Siebert not happy there, the referee. And just remind if you're just joining us now as well, that the referee today is Daniel Siebert from Germany. He's the man in the middle for this game today, Daniel Siebert. As Warren Zaire-Emery will make his entrance onto the field of play. And he will replace Fabian Ruiz. And I believe that is Paris Saint-Germain's sixth and final change. That's their third change of the game. So it'll be interesting to see. And the ball is out of play for a throw to Arsenal. Yuri Timber will take the throw in this game, as there is Luis Enrique barking out some instructions, and he's now back here with Saliba to Raya. Raya sends it to the right hand side, Arsenal's left hand side, and we couldn't find a teammate there. Tried to pick out Piero Nkapie, but the Arsenal man was picking out his teammate there, and it remains 1-1 if you're just tuning into us. Russ Vernon guiding you through the action this evening. If you're tuning in for the first time today, thank you very much for doing so. We really do appreciate the time and effort. As here comes Paris Saint-Germain. Zaire-Emery loses out to Declan Rice. He finds Eze. Tries Timber, who can't get there. And Nuno Mendes finds Zaire-Emery. Zaire-Emery clears it off of Madueke. Breaks for Yuri and Timber though. Declan Rice, Madueke, Timber. Gyökeres loses out. And then fouls his man. You see the referee says yes. We foul João Neves. João Neves is only quickly, but the referee wants him to take it from the correct position, so he's altered that play. And so far, Arsenal have looked at this game and was like, see how this game unfolds. As the ball is now back with David Raya. He sends the ball long downfield. If it's your first time here today and you've just stumbled across us thinking, I see someone doing some commentary. Let's have a listen to this. And you like what you're hearing right now. You can see it on the screen if you are visual. But if you're visually impaired, please hit the subscribe button, or get someone to hit the subscribe button for you. Hit the notification bell and you'll get notified every time we go live. Next I've offered will maybe a preview for this summer's World Cup, as Victor Gyökeres is the latest man to go into the referee's notebook in terms of a yellow card. There, the big Swede goes into the book, as you can see on your screens there. Victor Gyökeres yellow card, and remains 1-1 in the game here today. If you're tuning in for the very first time today, thank you very much for doing so. Russ Vernon will guide you through to the conclusion of this game, and we'll also guide you through to the trophy presentation at the end. Really do appreciate you all tuning in this afternoon. As we watch this free kick here for Paris Saint-Germain, Vitinha sending over this one. Leaves the ball into the penalty area, around the back end of the way by Saliba. Bacho's cross is blocked. Behind through a corner off of Zubamendi. What can Paris Saint-Germain do here now? Ousmane Dembele watching on, trying to encourage his teammates from the side. It looked like we went out for a corner, but we went out for a throw-in instead by the looks of it. Zubamendi is going quickly. Here's Emery. João Neves. Vitinha. Marquinhos. Now, as Emery again. A bit of movement here now as Nuno Mendes. Good ball into Vitinha. Achraf Hakimi, Marquinhos. Vitinha. And what can Vitinha do with possession here? Now plays the ball forward. Wonderful bit of play here. And this is a good bit of movement here now. And he runs towards the penalty. Shot comes in for Achraf Hakimi. He went wide. And not so handsome. Into the crowd up there. And remains Paris Saint-Germain 1. Arsenal 1 in the Champions League. We have played 10 minutes of extra time. So we've got 5 minutes left of this first period of extra time to play. If we're still level after the second 15 minutes. So we've got 25. So we've got 20 minutes left, or just under 20 minutes left. If we're still level after that, we will end up going to a penalty shootout. And I must say, if we do go to a penalty shootout, it will be my first ever penalty shootout that I've commentated on here on the commentary hub. So we'll have to see what happens here. Madueke racing to the penalty for Arsenal. Madueke goes down, referee says no penalty. And that should have been a penalty for me. How is that not a penalty there? For Arsenal. Here comes Paris Saint-Germain. Looking to punish Arsenal there. He raises it away. Just Daniel Siebert, the German referee. And my oh my. That should have been a penalty for Arsenal. Declan Rice. He's not careful. He's going to talk himself into the book here. Here comes Paris Saint-Germain. Will cross coming to the penalty area now. They're trying to walk it in Paris Saint-Germain. I believe VAR have cleared and checked the potential penalty for Arsenal. It will not be given, from what I'm hearing right now. VAR has checked and cleared it. Declan Rice shouting towards the referee, Daniel Siebert. Sergio Gabriel and Declan Rice has talked himself into the referee's notebook here. And I believe Arsenal boss Mikel Arteta has also talked himself into the referee's notebook here. Declan Rice didn't score, he's got a yellow card though. And so too as manager Arteta for Arsenal as well. A yellow card for Super Mikel Arteta and Declan Rice there. And for me, with every right to complain, that should have been a penalty for Arsenal. Arsenal, Gabriel saying they need to make a substitution here. Arsenal looks like Nketiah can't continue, but Arsenal are out of substitutions. So if Nketiah has to come off, Arsenal will have to finish this game with 10 men. Nketiah is down, he's struggling. He wants to come off, but Arsenal have got no substance to bring on to replace him. This stage just going from bad to worse for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta. He's staying out there at the moment is Pedro and Nketiah. If I were Paris Saint-Germain, I'd target his side because he can't actually go down that side. He's had to ask Gabriel Martinelli to come across and help him. At this rate, for me, what I would do, I'd push him up front to cause him a nuisance and move someone back to play on the left-hand side. Left side. There's going to be another sub for Paris Saint-Germain here. And coming on for Paris Saint-Germain will be number 4, Lucas Mourado. He's about to come on for Paris Saint-Germain. It looks like. Next time we get a stoppage in play, we're into first half stoppage time of extra time, and I can tell you there's a minimum of 2 added minutes at the end of this first period of extra time. And Arsenal may have to take Nketiah off at half time, and if that is the case, may have to for this entire following the next 15 minutes with 10 men due to all 6 substitutions made because they fetched on Timber, fetched on Zubamendi, fetched on Martinelli, fetched on Victor Gyökeres, fetched on Noni Madueke, and fetched on Eberechi Eze. So it looks as though Arsenal may have to finish this game with 10 men who are due to an injury rather than a red card. Paris Saint-Germain just keeping all of the possession. Will Arsenal win the ball back and pumped it forward. Paris Saint-Germain, what they need to do is get it down their right hand side, Arsenal's left, and run at Nketiah, because for me, I can see from here, and I'm over on the near right hand side where the dugouts are, Nketiah seems to be struggling a little bit. He's on possession now in Nketiah. He sent that ball forward, flicked on by Victor Gyökeres. Out of play for a throw which they've taken. Well, there is the half-time whistle in extra time. And at half-time in extra time, the scoreline reads the same as it did at 90 minutes. Paris Saint-Germain 1, Arsenal 1. And I'm just looking at the penalty incident again when Noni Madueke goes down in the return of Nuno Mendes. And for me, starts outside, but then he continues inside. And for me, that is a penalty for me. Mike, what did you make to that one? And did you think that should have been a penalty there, Mike?
Yeah, for me, I think it could well have been. I think Madueke gets the right side on his part, on an attacking point of view there, to cause defender problems, and I think he's definitely caught. So you have to consider it, and obviously I know VAR checked it and cleared it anyway. But for me, yeah, I'd probably be edging towards the fact of Arsenal being a little bit aggrieved there. Yeah.
Yes, and Matt, what do you make to that first period of extra time? Not really much in it for either side. Arsenal having a few chances other than the penalty claim. Not really much in it for either side. Both teams just cancelling each other out, really, in that first half in extra time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I think that neither side really wants to lose the game now in the the extra period. So I think it could be quite conservative from both sides in this final period of extra time as well, and it may play all the way through to penalty. So see what happens, whether somebody can nick a winner. But I think this is going to go all the distance to penalties now.
Yes, and I can see then Martin Odegaard, the club captain, rallying around the players out on that field of play, who are still out there telling what to do, along with Mikel Arteta. And that's what you need from your club captain. Even if you're not off of the pitch, you need to be down there, in and around him when he's in between halves of extra time, and rallying around them and making sure the players
absolutely.
get down
this is
there.
where you need your big leaders now. This is where you need your Odegaard, your Declan Rice. This is where these guys have to come through for Arsenal. Gabriel as well, people like that really got to come through and, hopefully guide the likes of Hincapié, who's got a bit of a knock through the final 15 minutes here. And then fingers crossed he hasn't got to take a penalty. But, if he does, I think it'd be more than comfortable to take one anyway. But yeah, I just feel that that's where PSG have got to really target now, as you said.
Yes, and dual substitution for Paris Saint-Germain. Marquinhos, the club captain, or the captain for today, has come off along with Vitinha, to be replaced by Lucas Beraldo and Ilya Zabrani. Zabrani has come on as well as Beraldo to replace Marquinhos and Vitinha as the second half of extra time will be about to get underway any second now, and we will be giving you the conclusion of this game. Whether he goes to penalty or not, we'll be staying with you till then. But what a game we have witnessed today. Still level after 105 minutes. Will the next 50 minutes see who comes out on top? As Paris Saint-Germain are about to get this game back underway, they'll be taking the goal away to my right-hand side in the first half. Paris Saint-Germain are about to get this game off and underway for the second period of extra time, and for the final time for actual match minutes, the game is back underway in this game, and we are back underway for the second period of extra time in general, as well as we bring you this game in full today, as we look to give you the match tonight. Who will come out on top, and will we go the distance to penalties? I believe right now we may be needing that penalties tab a little bit later on this evening, but who will come out on top in the end of 90 minutes? Will we see the winner in 90 minutes, in 120 minutes, should I say, in these next 15, or will we go to penalties? I wonder. As we get ready, as we are underway, as Paris Saint-Germain have possession, there's a ball whipped into the penalty, headed towards a cross goal, and headed pushed away. Can it chance? Young Nevers was in there. Arsenal can clear. Out of play for a throw into the Gunners now. David Ray with a wonderful stop. It was into the penalty area, headed back across goal, and he punches the save away in the end. And you've got to say that Arsenal are very, very good here as we watch this game unfold. Who will come out on top here? What a game of football we have witnessed today. Been a good game so far. Paris Saint-Germain with a chance to win it in 120 minutes, so the show was bloodbath. Comes out now to Zabrani. Now into the path of Achraf Hakimi. Zaire Emery. He's got possession now. Achraf Hakimi with the crossing deflected into the arms there of David Raya. And remains Paris Saint-Germain 1, Arsenal 1. Who will come out on top in this game tonight? As it stands, we're still yet to find out. Will the next few minutes tell us? Or will we go the distance to penalties? Here is Gabriel. Back to David Raya. Cleared away. Right-footed. Flicked on by Declan Rice. Now he breaks for Jurrien Timber. Wonderful turn from Timber. He gets the ball out wide to Noni Madueke. Against Doué. Goes down to Madueke. Free kick to Arsenal. He gets the Arsenal crowd on their side. Chanting again. They went a little bit quiet to the Arsenal fans. It was just mainly the Paris Saint-Germain fans you could hear a few moments ago. But the Arsenal fans have now woken up again. Foul by Doué on Noni Madueke. Declan Rice to send this set piece in. Can Arsenal find a way through here to potentially win this game today? I wonder. Declan Rice standing over this set piece. He's whipped into the penalty area. Punch clear. Only is by Safanov to Hakimi, who's just all over the play. Hakimi's got the armband now for Paris Saint-Germain with Marquinhos going off. Declan Rice has taken over the Arsenal captaincy, but Odegaard and Saka being withdrawn. Zaire Emery running forward. One Zaire Emery charging forward, he's lost out. And then Caprio sends it long downfield. Victor Gyökeres is chasing. Zabrani gets it back to Safanov, who gets it away. Arteta telling him where his players where to go as João Neves charges over halfway. João Neves gets it out wide to Achraf Hakimi. Excuse me. João Neves again. Here they come again now. Here is Paris Saint-Germain in possession. Can they get a late winner here and break Arsenal's arcs in extra time? Ball is across here to Zabrani. Gets it out wide into the path of Achraf Hakimi. Good ball in field. It goes here. Hakimi again. And Arsenal fans, I'm hoping, and Paris Saint-Germain fans, I'm hoping for your sakes, we don't have penalties, because penalties is an awful way to lose any cup competition, whether it's whatever round it's in. Will we have to go that way? The team Neves will try and change that. Has he gone behind? The referee says yes. It will be a corner kick to Paris Saint-Germain. Come off Martin Zubimendi. Paris Saint-Germain. One chance here now to potentially win it for them in this game. It will be Desiree Doué to take this corner. 11 corners to 2 in favour of the French side. Desiree Doué takes the corners, headed away to Martinelli. He clears it to it, looking towards Noni Madueke. Paris Saint-Germain have forced it all the way back to Safanov, who is looking forward here now. One chance saloon. Next goal. Winner here. Into that sort of territory now, you would feel. The next goal is crucial. And I feel the next goal will signify the winner of the Champions League 2026. One of these names will be written, enriched, inscribed onto the trophy of the Champions League, the European Cup, as it once was. Here is João Neves. Can João Neves do it here now for Paris Saint-Germain and break Arsenal's arms? Paris Saint-Germain looking for a winner. Both teams are holding out for an hero. We need a hero. Holding out for an hero till the end of the night. But who is going to be that hero? Paris Saint-Germain will look and see if they've got one. As here comes Zaire Emery. Ball ripped in from Mendes. Cleared by David Raya. David Raya was on to it a bit too long, is he here? He's not careful, he's going to give a corner away. He throws it out just in the nick of time with David Raya. Otherwise, Paris Saint-Germain would have been given a cheap corner. And now, Paris Saint-Germain can't get through there. Especially Paris Saint-Germain were in behind the Arsenal defence, but Gabriel and Saliba shut them out. Like a brick wall about them two. And have been all season for Arsenal. Apart from certain weeks where they've wobbled a little bit. But my oh my, what a game of this magnitude this has been. Can Arsenal or Paris Saint-Germain find a winner here inside the last 6 minutes plus stoppage time of extra time? Or will we go the distance to penalty kicks? I wonder. Here is Eze. Good ball forward. There's a poor pass in the end from Eze. He did the hard way by jinking his way through, and then the pass in the final third to set in Noni Madueke was poor. And that is what's letting Arsenal down. The final ball in the last few minutes is what's letting Arsenal down today. And you've got to say that this really has been a poor showing in the final third in the extra time from both sets of teams, really. He's just not clicked in there for them. Can something click now for Paris Saint-Germain? Zabrani. He gets the ball back, just Zabrani. Out wide to Hakimi. He's going to do it to Zabrani now. Infield to João Neves. Badly Barcola. Crosses in. Headed away. He's going to do it. He's there. He's going to do it. Still has possession. And he breaks now for João Neves. 1-1 is the scoreline. If you are tuning into us for the first time today, Dembele on 65 minutes levelled after Kai Havertz opened the scoring on 6 minutes between the two sides. 1-1 is the scoreline. Can we see a way through for either of these two sides? Or will we have to settle this game via a shootout? I wonder. What can Paris Saint-Germain do with possession as they look to seal this game in extra time instead of taking the penalties? João Neves is in behind as Nkapie slipped. Neves pulls the ball back. Shot from Desiree Doué. He's blocked and saved by David Raya on the goal line. And Raya gets the ball away quickly. And also if Timber breaks away, he's being fouled and a yellow card is coming out for Nuno Mendes. For Paris Saint-Germain. And there is confirmation on your screen that Nuno Mendes, number 25 for Paris Saint-Germain, goes into the referee's notebook. Closing stages of this game. A goal now would surely win this final for one of these two sides. Will it be Arsenal though from this set piece? Mikey says he's struggling to watch it. And the ball is over him from David Raya. And it goes into the behind the goal line for a goal kick to Paris Saint-Germain. And that was a poor goal free kick from David Raya. But right now, we will see very shortly if there's going to be any stopping. It's around about 90 seconds, coming close to the final 90 seconds before penalties into the 90 seconds now, unless we get a winner here now as Arsenal with Noni Madueke charging forward down the right hand side. Madueke inside to Timber. Timber still going. Timber across into the side netting from Jurriën Timber. And I thought Timber was going to set up the winning goal there for Arsenal, or even score it himself. He didn't really kick it properly. He scuffed his effort. And the ball's gone out of play for a throw into Arsenal now. With a long ball downfield from Paris Saint-Germain. And will we settle this game by a penalty shootout? I think we will right now. Will we have to settle this by a penalty shootout? Eze, Zubimendi. Good play for Declan Rice. Good ball to Madueke. Madueke with the cross. His head's in there. Gabriel is in back down. Victor Gyökeres. Gyökeres into the penalty. Victor Gyökeres shot deflects behind for the corner. I thought that was going in from Victor Gyökeres. Arsenal have a corner. And I think we've got 1 minute at a time at the end of extra time before penalties. So, I'm sure that's what Daniel Sievert has just said. The referee. Not come up on the screen yet. We are into stoppages. Not come up on the screen just yet. It's now all penalties. With it to you now, all penalties will be beckoning. Corner for Arsenal. Last chance saloon. Madueke with the corner. Flicked it up into the air. Punched away. Zubimendi was in there. He breaks out for Declan Rice. Back in, and it was goal. It will be for Arsenal. It's a penalty. He won't. But behind, it will be another corner. Will it? It's a goal kick. And it's all over. Inside 120 minutes. We cannot find a winner. We are heading to penalty shootout territory now. Penalties is what is going to come to next. We'll just get that screen set up for you right now. And we're just going to take a quick break. And then when we return, we will be back for penalty shootout drama here on the Commentary Hub. Who will win the 2026 Champions League final? Paris Saint-Germain or Arsenal? There'll be penalties to let us know who. join us shortly. Hello and welcome back to the commentary coverage of the Champions League final at the Puskas Arena. After extra time, penalties will follow after a 1-1 draw between Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal. Kai Havertz opened the scoring on 6 minutes. Ousmane Dembele equalised from the penalty spot on 65 minutes. And Mike Harleman's nerves are not very good right now, shall we say. I'm not going to repeat what he said to me in the private chat on air, but Mike...
They're shot to bits. They are shot to absolute bits right now. Yeah.
Yes, but Mike, how confident are you of your boys that they can get this over the line in this shootout?
Well, what I'll say is I was having a chat at the Stevenage Women event yesterday that I went to, and I did say we'll win on pens. So, fingers crossed, toes crossed, everything crossed that comes true. I just have to believe now. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see which 5 players from Arsenal, which 5 players from PSG will step up to the mark first, and what they need to do. And this is what I would be saying if I was Arteta or Enrique. Just stick to your guns. No pun intended for Arsenal, by the way. Stick to the guns. Stick to where you want to place it. Just go there. Do not change your mind last minute. Just go there, and whatever happens, happens. And you've come this far. Whatever happens, it's been a great season for either one of these two here. And Media Radio says, "Oh, penalties," and Katie says, "Please, Arsenal win for her nephew Riley's sake." Yes. Media Radio and Game says, "I think all our nerves are on now, Russ. But that was a good shot earlier from Arsenal, but unfortunately they didn't just go in." Very true, my friend. I can't call which way this is going to go. It was almost said then for the time for the penalty shootout to begin. Who will come out on top? Who will win this game in the shootout? Will it be Paris Saint-Germain or Arsenal on penalties? Who will come out on top? Let's find out right now as we get ready to talk you through today's penalty shootout between Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal. Who will come out on top here? Arsenal plays in a huddle. Paris Saint-Germain plays in a huddle. It looks as though first up will be Paris Saint-Germain to go first in the shootout. And it looks like it's going to be Ramos, who the substitute, who's going to take this first penalty. Gonzalo Ramos. And as I've just said previously, Enrique will have said to him, just pick your spot don't change your mind. Whatever happens, happens. Raya or Safinov to be the hero here now. Who is going to be the hero for their side and help them win the tournament? Paris Saint-Germain to go first in the shootout, and it's Ramos against David Raya. Will he score or will he miss the first shoot penalty in the shootout here today? The score is in the top corner there. The green will say he's scored, red will say he's missed on our graphic on there. He's just calling David Raya over, stepping up over. The referee telling him to stay on the line, to keep 1 foot on the line, so they can have 1 foot behind the line, 1 foot on the line when he's taking us on and to make save like that. To make sure they've got to have at least 1 foot on the line. We've both said okay, fist bumped each other. Ref pushes thumbs up to the referee Daniel Siebert, and right now it all depends on these next 5, maybe more spot kicks for Paris Saint-Germain and Arsenal. Ramos up first for Paris Saint-Germain in the shootout. Will he score, or will David Raya be the Arsenal hero first up? Ramos steps up and he scores. He doesn't make a mistake, and Paris Saint-Germain lead 1-0 in the shootout. Who will step up now first for the Gunners? It's their number 14, their big Swede, Victor Iceman Gyökeres. Victor Gyökeres for Arsenal. Can he score to put his side level in the shootout? Victor Gyökeres steps up. He doesn't miss either. It's 1-1 in the shootout. Perfect penalties. Perfect start to the penalty shootout. 1-1. What a game it has been. It was 1-1 in the 120 minutes. It's now 1-1 in the shootout. He's not going to finish 1-1. One team's not going to win 2-1, are they, in the shootout? So I won't be able to cope with that if everybody else missed now. Up next for Paris Saint-Germain is Desiree Doué, number 14. Desire Doué for Paris Saint-Germain. Can he put Paris Saint-Germain 2-1 up in the shootout, or will David Raya, the Arsenal hero here right now, Desiree Doué, he steps up and he makes no mistake either. It is 2-up to Paris Saint-Germain in the shootout. No mistake. 3 penalties. We've had 3 penalties have been scored. Now, stepping up for the Gunners, Eberiche Eze. He could have joined Tottenham, but he opted for Arsenal. Eberiche Eze to put his name in Arsenal folklore and score in a penalty shootout in the Champions League. This would be one of the biggest scores he'll have scored in his career. Should he score this? Eze steps up. Eze, will he do what he's just done? Eze steps up and he's dragged it wide. I could just tell as he was stepping up he was going to put it wide. An advantage PSG. Advantage Paris Saint-Germain. Advantage PSG in the shootout. And now, stepping up for Paris Saint-Germain, left back Nuno Mendes. And for me, we've got Eze when it looked like he changed his mind at the last minute. And that's what I was talking about not to do. What can he do here now? Nuno Mendes. If he scores, he'll put PSG in the driving seat. But David Raya saved it! Is it safe for David Raya? And Arsenal have a lifeline. David Raya with a big save. And now it is down to this Arsenal kick here. If they score this, then that's back on level terms. What a save for David Raya. And what a save for Arsenal. You see what it means to Kepa and the Arsenal coaching team there on the side of the pitch. Next up, now the armband is on his shoulders. He won the Conference League a couple of years ago before he moved to Arsenal with his boyhood club West Ham United. Declan Rice. Declan's Techers is what the England fans call him. Can Declan Rice for Arsenal level terms in the shootout? Declan Rice steps up for Arsenal. Scores for Arsenal. 2-2. And Declan Rice doesn't miss. He always scores. He always scores, does Declan Rice. He never misses from the spot for Arsenal. And he never misses when he strikes them off in the shootout for England either. He's always spot on. And he was there as well. Next up for Paris Saint-Germain is their skipper, Achraf Hakimi, who got the armband when the Marquinhos came off. Achraf Hakimi has to score this to put Paris Saint-Germain with their noses back in front. Achraf Hakimi, he does score. 3-2 Paris Saint-Germain. Now pressure is back on Arsenal because they will know if they miss this one and Paris Saint-Germain score their fifth and final one, Paris Saint-Germain will win the Champions League. Next up for Arsenal will be, just trying to see, we've just seen shots of Paris Saint-Germain players, well, and some of the fans celebrating that penalty. Next up, Gabriel Martinelli. He's got to score this to keep Arsenal in it. Gabriel Martinelli has to score. Otherwise it could be advantage Paris Saint-Germain. And Martinelli does score. It's 3-3. And the game is still continuing in the shootout. Now, if Paris Saint-Germain miss this penalty, and then Arsenal were to score the next one, Arsenal would go through. I should say would win this competition. But Odegaard is celebrating on the sidelines. Next up for Paris Saint-Germain is the substitute Beraldo. I don't think he's had a kick of the ball since he's been on the field when he came on at the start of extra time. Beraldo steps up, he scores into the bottom corner. And it's 4-3 to Paris Saint-Germain. Pressure now on this next kick for Arsenal. Because they know if this guy stepping up misses, Paris Saint-Germain will be the champions of Europe. The man it falls on the shoulders of to score and keep Arsenal's chances progressing is the number 6, Gabriel Magalhaes. And Gabriel has to score here, or Arsenal will be runners-up in the Champions League. Arsene Wenger watching on this to Luis Figo. Gabriel, the centre-back for Arsenal, to keep Arsenal in this. Gabriel steps up and he's skied it. And Paris Saint-Germain are European champions. 4-3 on penalties. After extra time, Arsenal's hard work comes crashing down to the 2 penalties that they missed in the shootout. Eperichi Eze and Gabriel are the unlikely of players to have missed in the shootout. Paris Saint-Germain have won the Champions League 4-3 in the shootout after 1-1 after extra time here in the Puskas Arena. He's inconsolable. But Mikel Arteta tried to give him an hug. Gabriel will be inconsolable as well. But Paris Saint-Germain are champions of Europe by beating Arsenal by 4-3 in the penalty shootout. Eze and Gabriel, he told them, it must have been hard for them to step up there and take them. But Arsenal come so close, but yet so far again, like in 2006, like 20 years ago, but they fall on the final hurdle in the Champions League. Full time after extra time in the Puskas Arena. Paris Saint-Germain won. Arsenal won. Paris Saint-Germain win 4-3 on penalties. We're just going to take a quick break, but when we return, we'll be back with the thoughts of Mike Ornament, and we'll also bring you the trophy presentation and the trophy lift, which will be done by Marquinhos and Paris Saint-Germain. Full time at the Puskas Arena in Budapest in the Champions League final. Paris Saint-Germain won, Arsenal won after extra time. Paris Saint-Germain win 4-3 on penalties. welcome back to the Conchubs coverage of the Champions League Final 2026. Paris Saint-Germain won, Arsenal won after extra time at the Puskas Arena. Paris Saint-Germain win 4-3 on penalties. Big up to Media Radio Jingles and Gaming says, well, not the ending we Arsenal fans wanted, but they've got to be proud of themselves for getting to the final, and they've played fantastically in this match. Mike, do you echo those sentiments there from Media Radio Jingles and Gaming? But Mike, what was Eze doing, and what was Gabriel doing as well with them 2 penalties, mate?
Yeah, obviously it's disappointing not to go and lift the Champions League there to capitalise on already winning the Premier League. But, you know, the Premier League was what we wanted. The Premier League is what we've been waiting all this time for. Champions League will come. We're so close to winning that now. Obviously, PSG are a fantastic side, as they proved last season by winning the competition. Now they've gone back-to-back as well. And, you know, we gave them a really, really good game today. We just gave them a big scare with the Havertz goal. We should have had a penalty in the extra time period as well. And then that could have maybe gone in our favour if the operator maybe steps up and takes the one and tucks it away, sorry, I should say. So, you know, there's moments there in this game. It's a real hard way to lose, as you said earlier. It is a tough way to lose, but it's a season to be very, very proud of. You know, we've gone on, we've improved in the league, we've improved in this competition as well. You know, we had a great run to get to the Carabao Cup final. You know, FA Cup, we were obviously beaten by Southampton, but I think that this season's still a very, very successful season. You know, we've got a trophy, and we're very, very close to getting a few more as well.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. And I alluded to it earlier with regards to with Arsene Wenger was in the crowd today. One of your former managers, it took him a while to win the Premier League, and then more trophies come after he won that. And Arteta's, it took him a while to get it, and he's come back to, and then would that be in now? And because Paris Saint-Germain now have won back-to-back finals, it's their second Champions League that they've won in their history, coming up in 2020 as well. Well, it's the first time since 1950. Well, back in 1950s, 1957 to be exact, for a team to go back-to-back in winning it. So Real Madrid won it in 1956, they won it in 1957, they won it in 1958, 1959 and 1960. Do you feel, man, from what you've seen with this PSG side, if we build on, they'll probably end up keeping the core of this squad and build on that. Do you feel like this PSG side could go on and potentially do something similar to Real Madrid like they did back in the early 1950s, potentially, in your opinion?
They already are. In my opinion, they're already most of the way there. I think that, you know, last season was a great achievement for them to go and lift it. And, you know, look at the comparison between last season's final and this season's final, right? Last season's final against Inter, they absolutely steamrolled them. You know, everyone that watched that game can be like, well, Inter didn't lay a glove on them. We laid more than a glove on PSG today. We scared them by getting the first goal. We should have had a couple of other goals as well. We had a few moments with Havertz. We've had a penalty, as I said before. You know, this is a different kettle of fish for PSG. So they know they've been in the game today. Last year, they would have thought, you know, they've done it with a lot more ease. So, you know, as I said before, real credit to Mikel Arteta. You know, we've gone on and we've lost this final here, but we haven't actually lost a game in the Champions League. Like, you know, and under like 90 minutes or whatever, because obviously we got through the groups, the league stage without losing any games. We got through all the rest of the rounds without losing any games as well. So, you know, we can still say we've gone unbeaten in the Champions League. You know, yes, we've lost the final by losing on penalties, but even that is a massive achievement in itself.
Yes, absolutely, Mike, absolutely. And just touching on Arsenal there, as you've just for a moment, obviously you've missed out on the Champions League today to obviously one of the best sides, if not the best side in the in the world, obviously in the world, because it's won the Club World Cup, the best side in the world, club side in the world, that is. Do you feel with what you've achieved this season, you can build on that to potentially go all the way next season, go that one step further next season like you did, say like you've done in the Premier League this season, Mike, or don't you?
Yeah, I do. I think it's going to be a real motivation for the players. Not that they need it on the back of winning the Premier League as well. I do think that this is going to be the motivation for what we need. Eze, I don't know what he was doing for the penalty, but those things happen. Gabriel as well. They're normally pretty reliable. So, it's just a bit of one of those moments, one of those days where they kind of just lost their head a little bit, maybe. But, not anything to say on them, really. They're both fantastic players. Both had big impact first in winning the league. Eze with what he did to Tottenham, Gabriel in every single game, super brilliant and sensational as well. And obviously, it's hard that he's got a brilliant recognition there for playing man of the match or man of the match, or I should say player of the match. But that's going to go down to basically nothing because of the penalty right at the end. So these things happen. It's football. These players will get over it. They will use it as motivation to kick on, as we did with the League Cup as well. And as I say, it's a lot to be proud of, a lot to be pleased with. And in the moment, yes, it's going to hurt. But tomorrow with the parade and everything like that, it'll be absolutely fine again.
Yes, absolutely, Mike. Absolutely. Arsenal, second time they've got to the Champions League final. The first time was back in 2006 when they lost, as I said, to Barcelona. They've lost in 2026 to Paris Saint-Germain. For Arsenal fans' sake, Mike, and maybe for the club's sake as well, maybe let's hope they don't have to wait another 20 years to get to another Champions League final.
Sorry, I kind of missed half of that question there. It was breaking up. Can you just repeat what you were saying?
What I said, Mike, was it was 20 years since you last got to the... It took you 20 years to get to the final. This from last time he was there when you lost to Barcelona, you lost to PSG. Said, let's hope for Arsenal, for the fans' sake, for the players' sake, for the club's sake, it'll take another 20 years to get to the final.
No, and it won't be. I reckon we'll get there, maybe next season, maybe, it will not be 20 years' time. And it won't be 20 odd years until we win the league again either. This is a real turning point in Arsenal's season. In Arsenal's history now, I should say. Yes, we could have made history today, but you never know. Next season, 2 seasons' time, we will be lifting more trophies. We might have a double, we might have a treble. There were talks of a quadruple at one stage. We've got 1 trophy. But if everyone was to be given the opportunity, you'd say the Premier League. The Premier League is your be all and end all. It's your bread and butter. Champions League, there's so many quality teams. You've got your Bayerns, you've got your Barças, you've got your PSGs, obviously you've got your Man City, you've got your Real Madrid, you've got your, people like that who they'll all come and they'll all come again as well. So it's a really great achievement to even get to this position. And as I said just there, if any Arsenal fan was offered 1 trophy, it would be the league, and we've got what we wanted.
Yes, it's Arsenal players themselves just going up to collect the winners of medals from the UEFA delegates there, and Ben White there was out injured tonight. Maybe he could have played a part to help Arsenal potentially get over the line. Maybe even not made the similar mistake that Mosquera did to give the Paris Saint-Germain the penalty, and maybe also could have won it in normal time there. We'll come back to you on that point in a second, Mike, whether you think that could be the case. Now, there's some players just getting their medals now. Eze has just got his, one of the players who missed a penalty in the shootout. There's Mosquera, who got substituted. Gabriel Jesus, who didn't come on tonight, who could have potentially made a difference. There's Leandro Trossard, who played well. Bukayo Saka there, will be heading off to the World Cup with England shortly. As well, Gyökeres will be heading there with Sweden as well. So good luck to them out there. Kai Havertz will be heading off with Germany, I believe, as well. So good luck to Kai and his nation out there. Paris Saint-Germain players getting ready to walk down to get their medals and then get the trophy in a moment. There's Arsenal's boss, Super Mick Arteta, as the fans call him. Told them very, very close to winning the Champions League. Now very, very close to potentially getting over the line in terms of the going over the line in the Premier League, very close to getting over the line in the Champions League, should I say, there, as we will now get ready to see the coach of Paris Saint-Germain, Luis Enrique, lead his team down onto the plinth to get their medals their gold medals that the officials did a few moments ago to say they are champions of Europe. They won the FIFA Club World Cup last summer, and this season they have won the Champions League. So the world champions are also the champions of Europe as well. Achraf Hakimi there going down. Marquinhos will be the one who will be lifting that trophy when he walks down in front of the rest of his squad in a few moments' time to deliver glory and give the trophy the almighty lifting. All the fireworks and pyrotechnics will go off shortly as well. But the trophy presentation is well underway now. And what a game this has been tonight. Yes, it's final hurdle for Arsenal. Final hurdle you couldn't get over and be lifting that trophy. But like Mike said, and a lot of people have said, Arsenal fans will be proud of the season. They got the trophy that they wanted, which was the Premier League at the start of the season, but now they have missed out on the Champions League. Paris Saint-Germain they've got the Champions League. I think they won their title as well. Which also went on to say, I've got to say PSG played really well tonight, so good to see them victorious. Ousmane Dembele giving a kiss to the trophy and walking down the plinth now. And there is their skipper, Marquinhos. He got substituted in the match tonight. He didn't take part in the penalty shootout, but his teammates got the job done for him in the end, so he can be taking the trophy now. He's got it. He's just giving it a kiss. He's rubbing it now. Fist pumping up into the air. He's walking down towards his teammates and the staff. They're all jumping around. He's dancing along. He's getting in front of everybody. And he will now lift up the trophy to confirm Paris Saint-Germain, UEFA Champions League 2026 champions. And Paris Saint-Germain are dancing into the night in Budapest. They're champions of Europe as well as champions of the world. Paris Saint-Germain are the best team in world football and European football right now. And Arsenal, like Mike said, gave him one hell of a scare tonight. But Paris Saint-Germain are champions, and this will bring our domestic seasons coverage, domestic football, European football, club football coverage to an end for the 25-26 season. Thank you to everybody who has done the commentaries this season on the channel. Alex Peters, Dan Money, some of the others, Matt Roberts, and some of the others who do some recorded commentaries on the channel for us as well. Big thanks to those. Big thanks to
Just got some messages here that I want to read out as well from our chat here. Obviously, there's some members of the team here, JB, Barry as well. They're all getting involved here and having a say on the game. So, do you want to go back to that now, or you can finish off what you were saying?
I'll finish off what I'm going to say first, and then I'll read some. Then I'll let you read what JB is actually to say.
And what Barry's been saying. Yeah, no worries, mate. Okay.
Barry's been saying in a minute. But I was just going to say big thanks to actually JB who's come to some games this season. Big thanks to Nicholas Jones, Paul James, yourself, Mike, and many others that we've had on the channel, whether you've been on Coke, Winter, amongst others who have been with us throughout this 25-26 domestic season. We'll be with you again until the summer. We'll be with you in the summer. We'll be off for a few days now. We'll be back. I can tell you the exact day we'll be back. We'll be back on. Are you ready for this, guys? We haven't got the graphics ready to show you on the screen. We'll keep this date in your diary. Thursday, 11th of June, the opening match of the FIFA World Cup 2026 will be here on this channel. with yours truly back in this off seat on the commentary for that one. Just want to read this out here from Media Radio Jingles and Gaming, who says, fantastic match and brilliant commentary, Russ. And Mike, you summed up the game brilliantly. He also says, I'm going off now, Russ and Mike and all on the TCO team. Fantastic commentaries this season, and hopefully it gets better next season as well. So thank you very much.
What I want to say as well, just on top of what you're going to say here, no doubt, Russ, is Media Radio Jingles and Gaming, massive support to us over not just this season, but our journey. So, you know, massive credit to you as well. You know, obviously it's not gone our way today, but, you know, for all of your support, we really do thank people like you who are regular viewers and listeners, and somebody that comes through on a regular basis. So, yeah, very much appreciate you, buddy.
Yes, and thank you very much. I was about to say, Media Radio Jingles and Gaming, and to our listeners, if it wasn't for you listening in, we wouldn't be able to do all this. We wouldn't be able to do all our graphics that we've had on the screen tonight and throughout the season as well. So we really do appreciate you the time to listen to us tonight. Also, just want to give a special shout out tonight. It was the first time listening to the show tonight.
Big up to our girl, Katie.
One of our good friends, Katie Louise, who listened in tonight. And she, first time listening to it tonight, and earlier on, she said, proud of you. That was towards the end of the game tonight. So big thanks to you, Katie, there. And
I'm basically now £5 down, Russ, if you remember mine and Mikey's bet from the other day. I've got to buy him a beer.
Yes, I remember that, mate. Yes, our good friend Mikey was the Tottenham fan, but we won't go back against him, will we, Mikey? Good football banter between us all.
That's right. Next season there'll be the championship, and you know there'll be 2 seasons time they'll be playing. I don't know, maybe Stevenage. Who knows?
Yes. Well, Mike, you've got some comments from some of our team, of the likes of Barry Swain, JB, John Stuttard, and some others. What would you want to say? What have they got to say to
yeah?
just
So
those,
first comment I'll get to is from JB. He says that PSG's cheated tonight. I'm sure the German ref is happy with his money from PSG. Barry's just shut that down, saying it's the referee that makes the decision, not the team who cheats. Absolutely correct. And he says, this is JB now. Firstly, the pen was never a penalty. Kvaratskhelia conned the referee and asked him to the penalty themselves in extra time on the Madueke one, which I think was a penalty, but you know, I think the Kvaratskhelia one was a penalty as well, in all fairness. And you know, learn to take a deep breath, count to 10, learn to stay humble, and all that kind of stuff with JB and Barry there. From Barry's side, a bit of banter, and then JB saying they cheated, ended them, and billions of pounds of Arab money, blah blah blah. Give up punditry, gone mad. That's from Barry. And then it's like, yeah. Then JB is like, this is all kind of political. We'll kind of skip over that for a minute. Barry saying, fast forward to August, Lincoln City 1, Burnley 2. Lincoln called Burnley cheats because of their millions in the parachute payments. Fair point. Going through who sponsors who. And it's like, you know, everything like that. Owned by Qatar, the whole country who had bad human rights and stuff like. So I was just saying, come on, comms, if you want to have a chat. But obviously, I think they're around. They're not around. They're a bit busy. Yeah, Barry, you can't bring that so you can't bring those politics onto a football field. Absolutely right, and you probably shouldn't bring it into comms either. But we did. And he's also gone on to say, good comms, everyone. You make a great team, and the improvement across the board is good to see. And of course, we very much appreciate Barry, don't we, Russ, as well, for his part in this journey.
Yes, if it wasn't for Barry, this channel, guys, would not be going right now and would not be on air. So big up to Barry Swain. If you listen back to this, Barry, thank you for helping me, Mike, and the team set off on our journey back in lockdown, mate. We really do appreciate you.
Absolutely correct, and I echo everything that Russ has said there, word for word as well. Echo all of those sentiments, and then JB's wanted to say, tell UEFA, FIFA, and the Premier League that, and he says, great comments, Russ as well. That's from JB, and he also says, tell the listeners the best team didn't win. And Barry says, I'll put it in the memo. I'll let you know if they respond about the UEFA, FIFA, and Premier League, and then. Just been left with JB saying, cheers, Buzzer. I won't expect any reply back, though.
Yes, I was going to say thank you to JB as well for the same great comms tonight. And I just want to give a shout out to JB because before I started this journey with you, Mike, on the on this channel, as you
of course, you worked alongside JB on
alongside JB on his channel, which is JB Sports, which is a partner channel of ours. So if you want to go and subscribe to JB Sports, the link for that is down in the description of this video, guys. Go and make sure you show him some support over on JB Sports over there. Really good.
Just a few messages from Barry as well regarding his response to JB. He's basically just saying exactly that, because that's where you should be aiming your frustration and your corruption allegations at, not at PSG. And yeah, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He's not wrong there. But big thank to Barry, big thank to JB for the comments there. And let's hope our World Cup coverage will be the best on YouTube. This summer. We may not do all 104 games. We'll do as much as we can.
I don't think we'll do 104 games. No, there might be crazy, all the different crazy hours, aren't they? Middle of the night, some of them. So I don't think we'll have people around for them.
We may not have people around for them, but we'll try and do as many as we can. We'll bring you as many as we can here on the channel. First one will be the opening match of the tournament that will bring you for the World Cup, and yours truly will be on air for that one. And Mike, I just want to say this to you as well. If you're around on that day and want to be part of the coverage as a pundit or a co-com, you're more than welcome. It's on a Thursday.
Yeah, mate, I'll certainly be around
on the UK.
I've really enjoyed getting back. Obviously, I've had a little bit of a break. I've had stuff going on in my own personal life. Obviously, I've become an uncle for the first time last week with little Rocco being born. We've had a lot of stuff going on in the family as well. So, it's good to be back and amongst it again. And, I'm getting myself back out there in terms of potential media for Senior FC women who are putting they put out a couple of applications to do some media work with them. So I've applied for all three, so I'm waiting back to hear from that. And that's what I was yesterday with the Senior FC women's team as well, raising a bit of money for Amy Goodrum, who's dealing with a really nasty injury, and she wanted to raise £15,000 in total for her surgery, which they surpassed yesterday on, with lots of different events. Last night was a horse racing event, race night. That race just under or just shy of £3,000, which I think is sensational, really, to be honest, for one night. A lot of generosity there from everybody and everything like that. So there's that is something that I've applied for. But I've also applied to do some stuff with AFC Wedding potentially as well. So I'm looking at two different options. And as I say, just looking to get myself out there a bit. And obviously, this helps, you guys help. And, just like with Nick, just like with, people like Matty Isles, for example, that some of you older listeners will remember Matty very, very well. Started his journey doing stuff with Rye, obviously me and Russ know. And then obviously he come and helped us out on that as well. And Matty's gone on to achieve some real big things in the game. So, let's hope there's a few more of us that could go and follow in Matty's footsteps as well.
Absolutely, man. Well said there. Well said. And big up to everybody. And if it wasn't for, like I said, once again, if it wasn't for Barry, none of this would be possible. So big shout out once again to the legend and the man, the myth, the legend, that is Barry Swain. Big up to you from myself and Mike and everybody here as well. And I just want to give a shout out to our very own Paul James, who does some paid commentary work now as well with GB Vision, another great channel which you can listen to some stuff here on YouTube as well. So make sure you go and give JB Vision a listen to and go and support our very own Paul James and some of the team over there. Barry Swain is another one who does stuff over there as well. Make sure you go and support all those as well. Big part of the channel behind the scenes is Barry here on the commentary, and he also does some stuff over there.
Yeah, and of course, while you're mentioning other bits and pieces that people do as well, you've got to mention Football Live, haven't you, and the Breeder FM guys. So, obviously...
John Kane as well, who's myself, Paul, and a few others like Jack Heston, who's worked with us here on Alex Peters and Dan Money, who's did a game for us the other day as well. From there, some people from there has done some stuff, recording comments for us as well over here. So big shout out to all the. And some of you listeners older listeners may remember John Kane. He started with us, and I spoke to him behind the scenes. And you may even hear John Kane back on the channel next season, doing some potential Spanish games for us in La Liga and some other games as well, if John has got the free time as well. So if you do remember John Kane, please make sure you come back when he's back on the channel and support him like you support the rest of us. But from myself, Mike, Russ Vernon, from Mike Ornament, from the rest of the team and the commentary you've listened to throughout this season, big thank you to everybody.
Thank you very much for listening, everyone. From my point of view, and obviously Arsenal fans, it's going to be a bit of a sweet day tomorrow. Obviously, we won the league. If you're going down to the parade or anything like that, don't think about today too much. Just go there, enjoy yourselves. The aim was to win the league. We've done that. Go and celebrate it, and we'll use this as motivation. I'm sure Mikel Arteta will take a lot from today. The fact we've lost, you learn more when you lose than when you win. So Arteta, as I said before, he's going to be very, very proud of this team, and rightly so. Penalties is a lottery. Could have gone either way. We've had a fantastic season. We've got to 2 finals, which we've lost. We've won the Premier League. It's a massive improvement in terms of where we were, 10 seasons ago, 6 seasons ago, 7 seasons ago, whatever it might be. And we're certainly on the up. And when you look at Guardiola leaving City, Slot leaving Liverpool, we've got the consistency now with Mikel Arteta, and that's going to go a hell of a long way. So, don't worry about tonight too much. Go down there tomorrow if you're going down. Enjoy yourselves, and enjoy it into the summer. If anyone comes to you and says, "Oh, Champions League this, Carabao Cup this," the aim was the Premier League, and we got what we wanted.
Thank you very much, Mike, and from all of the team here, myself, Russ Vernon, Mike Horniman, Nicholas Jones, Paul James, John Stuttard, and the rest of the commentators, Alex Peters, Dan Money, and more and more and more. Thank you very much for listening to our coverage this season. Join us for some World Cup action from the 11th of June from all the team here. It's goodbye.